Hello and welcome to Bounding into Comics. My name is John Trent. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief at Bounding into Comics, and would like to welcome you to the Black Pill stream. My co-host Spencer Bakuli is having some technical issues, but he should be joining us momentarily. I also got word from Culture Casino that he will be able to join us tonight, but he will be joining us a little bit later as well. So right now it's just me. So we got a bunch of folks already in the chat. Dr. Alex Dean, PhD Electrian, is here. He says, I'm wondering if you guys can see this. Yes, we can. I can see it. Bobby Campbell is here. He's coming out. Guns a-blazing. Guns a-blazing. 100% facts, Bobby Campbell. I'm looking forward to seeing what you're shooting. Tehillim is here as well. Good to see you, Tehillim. DZ3 is here. Ravul Arvida, the rise and fall of Genshin Impact. Yeah, we got those. I don't know. You probably saw that story, Ravul. It's the entitlement is just insane with what is going on at Genshin Impact. I think that's something we might be talking about a little bit later in the stream. But yeah, that's definitely something we're going to be talking about tonight. Let's see. Comrade Roof Korean the base says, love the still the Black Pill stream. Are you not entertained? Yes, I specifically found the Are You Not Entertained scene, and that's the one I was using. I was actually trying to find the one where he's got like the one from like it's on the DVD. It's on one of the Blu-rays box art where he's got the sword in his hand and then he's got it, but I think that's from when he's in Rome after Are You Not Entertained? Because the Are You Not Entertained scene is when he's in one of the minor Colosseums before he goes to Rome. But yeah, I like that one. Yeah, so we'll talk about that. Ridley Scott. We didn't do a story on it, but Hollywood Reporter, one of the trades. I saw the Hollywood Reporter covered it. I don't know who broke it, but apparently Ridley Scott is already got the second Gladiator film script written, and he's ready to make the movie. So we'll be talking about that. I haven't really looked at this story. I just know that they're making a second Gladiator film, and it's just like, why? Father Christopher Miller is here as well. Says, hey, I'm not staying on long. No, fortunately, I'm not. I'm going to a birthday party for one of my buddy's daughters is turning 3. So we will be going to that at 11. It starts at 11 my time. So fortunately, I'll be missing that. I'm really missing it. I'm kind of upset that I'm missing it because I was looking forward to doing it this week. Yeah, it really sucks. It's a bummer. But maybe I have to get on a stream with you soon, Father Christopher Miller, because I am missing these Saturday streams. I think it's been like 3 months now that I've missed in a row. Just because of like just how my schedule's been happening. So the Lazy Otter Productions is here. Hey, Father Christopher Miller, great to see you, Padre. Is that you, Jorge? Are you the Lazy Otter Productions? I thought Jorge was the Armored Otter, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's him or not. Alexander Vidakovich is here as well. Howdy to you, Alexander. Bobby Campbell is saying 32 days till Halloween, which that means there's 33 days till, oh my gosh, Father Chris Miller is gonna get me on this. It's All Saints Day, I believe, is November 1st, right? I'm gonna have to look this up because I'm gonna catch myself. Yes, I'm right. Ha, good. Yes, All Saints Day then. So we got 33 days till All Saints Day. Yeah, so that's looking forward to that. Ellie Yap is here as well. He says, good morning. All hail. I have you in the background while I work. Yeah, thank you for listening to us while you work. It is good morning to you. It is it's the night here on the East Coast, 9 o'clock. I guess still kind of late evening, 6 o'clock, late evening on the West Coast. Yeah, I'll have my vengeance in this life for the next. Kogi Pan is here too. He says he's also listening in the background. Don't forget to thumbs up. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button. It does help get the word out there so more people see that we're live. Yeah, that's what the Lazy Otter is doing too. I don't think that Jorge, if that is Jorge, I'm not sure. He hasn't confirmed it or Bobby Campbell's like, this is not the Marvel that I grew up with. No. Shinkai is saying, playing God of War 4, wanting to beat the game again, only so I can do the Valkyrie challenges. Is God of War 4 the new God of War where they're in like the Norse, I guess the Norse area? Like where it was more like the camera's like over the shoulder rather than like the side scroll, I guess. Or like how it was more of like it played more like a Mass Effect type where the camera's over the shoulder and everything like that. I think that's the God of War that you're talking about. But yeah, so we got a big show. We're gonna be talking about Gladiator, of course, Lord of the Rings. I did a video on that, but I think there's a lot more to talk about with that. What the OneRing.net is trying to push, and you have the editor clearly not having any of it. And then even if you read the actual excerpt that they were pushing to try and say that this is confirming their like worldview or whatever, it contradicts what they're actually trying to push. So we'll talk about that. I do want to talk about the Genshin Impact thing because I do think that is something that we should talk about and address. And then obviously we'll talk about what's going on with Spider-Man and Venom. Huge leak, huge leak. I'm actually shocked that that didn't actually blow up. I guess most people had already seen it, or just people just don't care. We got a huge Spider-Man, No Way Home, and like Venom. There will be Carnage leak on the website, like literally post-credit scene link that could have huge ramifications for the MCU going forward, at least for No Way Home, before maybe they blip him back or whatever. We got Bunny with the Keyboard is here as well. Yeah, Bobby Campbell's like, politics and identity politics is a twisted religion, and that's creepy, sadistic, and twisted. Man, 907. Yeah, so you must be, I'm guessing, well, I don't know. I thought that, okay, yeah. So I'm assuming you're like an Aussie, LE, or somewhere, maybe somewhere over there. And then I think Alexander is like Eastern Europe, maybe, I'm guessing. All right. So before we get into Gladiator, let's read this last chat message here. Comrade Roofcree in the base says, is it ironic or worrying the plot to Horizon Zero Dawn is on pace to become reality? I actually haven't played that game, so I have no idea what the plot of that game is. I only know that I have Alloy for free in Genshin Impact. I literally have no idea what that game is about, so you'd have to like educate me on that one because I really don't know. That is, oh, and there's Spencer right there. He says, hello, trying to work out a few issues on my end, hoping to hop on ASAP. Yep. Well, while we're waiting for Spencer, yes, I was right. Your Central Time. Okay, yeah, I was kind of close. I was pretty close. All right, let me pull up this. I'm going to pull up the Hollywood Reporter article for this Gladiator 2 story, and we'll kind of go over it. Wow, it's not even front page. What's going on here? I'm gonna have to like search for it. It's like they got it hidden. I saw it. They just put it up on Facebook. I wonder how old it is. I'm gonna have to do a keyword search here. Not seeing it pop up on the homepage. All right, I'm not even seeing it when I search Gladiator. What's going on? Did they like did they ghost the story? Let me just do I'll just do a Google search and see if I can find it that way. Yeah, I'm not really prepared for this one. What is going on here? This is crazy. Let me see if I do Gladiator 2, that'll show up. There we go. All right, here we go. We'll get to the Venom thing. I think it's a huge tease for No Way Home, I think. Here we go. All right. Yeah. So this is the Hollywood Reporter. They're saying Ridley Scott gives Gladiator sequel update. Says, okay, it's not completed. It's being written now. The director says he'll begin focusing on the anticipated follow-up to his Oscar-winning historical epic when he's finished Napoleon drama Kitbag. That's a weird name, Kitbag. Someone will have to fill me in on if there's some kind of meaning to that, if it's like a Napoleon drama, because that actually, I'm actually really surprised. Maybe it's just not hit me. But I'm actually really surprised we don't see more films about Napoleon. I feel like there's a lot of stuff you could do with Napoleon's life, but maybe I just haven't seen it, and I've just missed it. It's out there, and I just haven't seen it. But yeah, Ridley Scott says the script for the long-awaited follow-up, long-awaited, was like, what? All right, long-awaited? Who's been waiting for a Gladiator sequel? It's a great standalone film. Was anyone waiting for a Gladiator sequel? No, I wasn't. He dies. Maximus dies. Joaquin Phoenix's character, Emperor Commodus, dies. They die. Like, the protagonist and the antagonist die. So you're gonna have to like find a new Gladiator. So like, what are you gonna do? Like, basically just copy the first Gladiator with like it sounds like it's gonna be I mean, like, how do you do it aside from like basically just doing a reboot? Like, it's not the Terminator. Like, Maximus can't just like come back from the future. Inching closer to the top of his priority list, 83-year-old Oscar-nominated director Ridley Scott says, I'm already having the next Gladiator written now, so when I've done Napoleon, Gladiator will be ready to go. Okay, it was announced in 2018. All right, must have missed that when they announced it. Slated to follow Lucius, the son of, Connie Nielsen's Lucilla, and nephew of Joaquin Phoenix's power-hungry and immoral Commodus. Both Lucilla and Lucius were saved by Crow's Maximus from the embittered. Yeah, we know that. That's what happens in the first movie. I don't know. Is he going to be like? That's like so. Is he going to be running the gladiator pits? Because he would become the emperor. Like, what's going on here? What's going on? Like, Lucius, like the son of the son of Caius Lucilla. Yeah, the son of Lucilla. So the nephew of Commodus is going to become. One would assume he becomes the emperor. Like, I mean, I can see you obviously have the political play with the Senate and everything like that. But I mean, is he gonna continue the gladiator? I guess he would, right? But where's the tension coming from? I don't know. I really have no idea where the tension's going to come from. Like, because I feel like you can't do Spartacus. I mean, I guess you could do like a knockoff of Spartacus where you have an actual like gladiator uprising, slave uprising, and going against the emperor. But like, I'm not really sure. Like, I don't even know what direction you would go with this movie. One would assume that there would be a time jump, that Lucius is now like at least like late teens, early 20s. Because if I remember correctly, in the original movie, he's like maybe like 10, 12, if that. So I don't know. I don't know how you would. Just sounds like a bad idea. Sounds like a really bad idea. It doesn't like look like there's any other information here. Like, this is all they have about what it'll be about. It's supposed to follow Lucius, the son of. I mean, obviously they're not going to have Connie Nielsen. They're going to recast Lucius, I would assume, different actor. So I don't know. I just don't see this being I just don't see it being good at all. No, I just don't. I guess you could do. I just don't like. Why would you call it? Because my big hang up is like, how do you fit the gladiator fighting into it? If you're going to follow Lucius, I could see maybe, because if I remember correctly, they were still fighting the Germans because it's right after Marcus Aurelius, right? So they were still fighting the Germans. So you could focus more on that. And maybe that's how you do it. Like they've captured a couple Germans or something like that. And but I don't know. I just watch Barbarian. Like I don't really want to recommend that because there are some like graphic sex scenes in it. But Barbarians is aside from that, Barbarians does a pretty good job of recapturing what is the I'm gonna have to look it up now because I can't remember the name of the battle off the top of my head. The German production Barbarians, it's on Netflix, really good. I gotta look it up. Chat probably already has it before I figure it out. Netflix doesn't even tell you what the battle is. Yeah, it's Arminius. Yeah, thank you. YouTube me is like, I convinced my wife that if we have a son of our own, it's going to be Arminius James. Arminius, it followed like Barbarians follows Arminius, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Yes, it does. It does follow him. And he is actually he's a Roman, but he was originally a German, and he's raised as a Roman as part of Rome's kind of conquest of the Germanic people. They give up their kids in order for them to be Romans, and then he's literally part of the legion that's deployed to conquer his people, bring them back, like keep them in order, and really Romanize them. And he ends up betraying Rome. He unites a number of Germanic tribes and like absolutely slaughters the Roman legion in the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest. Thank you. Yes, Ellie. Yeah, got it to me. Battle of Teutoburg Forest. Couldn't think of it off the top of my head. Had to look it up. But yeah, it's on Netflix. No, it is really good. It is really good. The productions are really good. So it's a Germanic production. It's not it's a German production, not German. What am I saying here? It's a German production. It's not really Hollywood. They actually the Romans are speaking Latin. Even in the you have I watched the subtitled version, and so they speak German and they speak Latin. So the Romans are speaking Latin, and then the Germanic peoples are speaking German. Really well done. The production is fantastic. The suits look great. The battle's great. Really, really good. Tehillim is saying that we could they'd be the Visigoths. Yeah, so I guess that would be the Visigoths if they did a second Gladiator. I have to really look up some of that history. I don't even know if Lucius is actually a historical figure or not. I know Marcus Aurelius is, but I don't know if that Lucius character is, or if that's like a character that they made up. So I don't know. I don't really have high hopes for this. I'm not excited for this. I don't think that it's a long awaited. I know they said they announced it in 2018. That's only 3 years ago, and I just don't think anyone is really looking for that. Yeah, you have the Visigoths and the Ostrogoths. There was a what's his name? I think he's like a Scottish guy. I can't remember his name. He got really big, and then his stars kind of waned. He did like an Attila the Hun TV movie or something like that. I actually kind of enjoyed that. He played Attila. It was actually pretty good. Flora Vita saying a Maid of Lorraine movie would be interesting. Not familiar with that. I have to look that up. Let's gotta remember that sounds like it's French, Lorraine. Oh, that's Joan of Arc. Okay, yeah. Okay. I know Joan of Arc. Maid of Lorraine is I wouldn't have known her by that, but yeah, I know Joan of Arc. Yeah, that would actually be really good too. I would be interested in a Joan of Arc movie. Nerdigans is saying, did I see a Dune? No, I haven't seen that. Did you? I don't know. I get so many notifications on the Bounding account. I do miss things. But I don't know. I don't really have anything else to add to this this report from the Hollywood Reporter about Gladiator 2. Apparently, it was announced back in 2018. It's been 3 years, and I just don't really see the point of it. Gladiator is probably one of the last films that legit won an Oscar for Best Picture. So I just don't. I mean, why like tarnish the legacy of that film with a sequel? I just, I don't know. I mean, that's not to say there aren't great sequels. Like Terminator 2 is a great sequel. Empire Strikes Back is a great sequel. So yeah. OC Steve is just joining us. Spencer's having tech issues. He's in the chat. Once he figures that out, he's going to hop on. And then Culture Casino said he'd be joining a little bit later as well. But right now, yeah, I am flying solo. I don't have my I was going to try and make a Mighty Ducks reference, and I'm just really sucking at with my memory today right now. I don't have my flock. Flock is the right word, I guess, is what I was going to make. I don't have my flying V. I don't have my flying V team with me. Zach says there's a docudrama called Barbarians Rising with Billy Bones from Black Sails as Arminius. It's good. I think that's on. I think Netflix has that too, right? Because I know they have like the greatest battles of history or something like that. And I remember them. I remember them talking about Battle of Teutoburg Forest there as well. But I really like the dramatization with the Barbarian show on Netflix. It's really, really good. I do like it. So I did have this. I was going through my tabs and just pull this up. I thought this was kind of interesting. Hollywood Reporter again. We actually have some data from Netflix on what the most watched shows are based on time watched. This is like the new metric, time watched. And so they separated by series and movies. And some of these might be a little surprising. I'm a little surprised some of these aren't higher. Bridgerton season 1 is up there. That actually doesn't really surprise me, given the fact that British show, I don't even remember what it's called, but like it was so it was on PBS and like everyone, all the women watched it. My wife watched it. Her sister watched it. My mother-in-law watched it. Something Abbey or something like that. Downton Abbey. Everyone watched that. So the fact that Bridgerton is up there does not surprise me because I feel like that just kind of fits in with that Downton Abbey audience. Huge. They even think they made a movie as well. So that doesn't really surprise me whatsoever. It also doesn't surprise me because I think there is a fascination with those like historical time periods where you had polite society, a little bit, maybe a little bit politer than we have today, and a little bit of some romanticization of that. I haven't watched Bridgerton, so I don't know if that has that, but it's possible. Money Heist, I've never even heard of that. Part 4. I don't know, what is that, like a reality show? I've never heard of Money Heist. I have no idea what that is. This is really weird to me. This is really weird. Stranger Things season 3 has more watch time than Stranger Things season 2. We got Culture Casino here. Welcome, Culture Casino.
Hey, yeah. Ooh. Sorry, I meant to be here earlier, John. I'm sorry, I was finishing out something. So
no worries. I don't know if you're a little. I don't know if it's me, but you're a little loud.
Oh, I can turn that down.
It might be me. I like lowered my volume, so you're fine. I'm at half volume, so it should be good.
All right, you're back up. All right.
I don't know. Maybe it was just that one time because you sound good now. I don't know. Yeah. Have you heard of Money Heist?
Yeah, it's a great show. It's a foreign. Okay. Yeah, it ran
not
for.
Surprise me.
Yeah, it ran for multiple seasons on Netflix. I mean, it's essentially exactly that. It's all based around an idea of a group of people that heist, a bank initially.
I have seen it. I haven't actually watched an episode, but I always saw the ads. Okay, yeah. I recognize it now. Yeah. But Stranger Things season 3 getting more watch time than Stranger Things season 2. Does that surprise you?
Overall, you mean overall, or
yeah? So this is
the entire the entire run of it?
Yeah, well, this is Hollywood Reporter reporting on the most watched shows on Netflix ever.
Ever. Okay, wow. That does surprise me. The first season was in my opinion still the best. The second season it started to fall apart. I wasn't really on board with the third season, so we'll see what 4 shows. But doesn't that seem odd to you though? Wouldn't you want to catch up with a show?
That's why I thought that was strange. Like, wouldn't you would think season 2 would have more view, like you wouldn't just jump right into season 3. You would watch from the beginning and binge it. Like, that's how I would have thought. But
now again,
this is from Netflix's presentation based on hours watched.
Okay, so that's different. Okay, so now we have to. Okay, so we need to revisit how many episodes were there, how many minutes.
Oh, true.
Each episode, because it's quite possible that early on there's less total volume there.
Yeah,
because
that's right.
less minutes. So yeah, that would be the way it made sense. But yeah, I loved these numbers when they came out. I was like, this is an interesting way to reveal some of the inside stuff, right?
Yeah. Witcher's up there, number 4, season 1, 541 million. That's 8 episodes.
Yeah, it's true. Exactly. And this is where this is misleading, right? Where some of these things will have more episodes or the episodes will be longer or whatever. So it doesn't really mean what people might think it means, because again, we need to break it down in those ways.
Right. And it's not even thinking about so it's just minutes watched. It's like, okay, you watched like 5 minutes, you stopped, you went somewhere else, paused it, you didn't come back until like the next day, and then you watch those same 5 minutes again, right? Or
oh no, absolutely,
rewatches and stuff like that.
Yeah, if that's the way they're actually tracking it, then that's going to be a completely different thing. I mean, again, it comes down to how you're collecting your data. This is always the problem with the way these things are done, because of how you consider this a watch, right? Like on YouTube, if you watch for 20 seconds, 2 seconds, or whatever, that's a watch. Well, is it really? I mean, did somebody really engage with that content? No.
It's good enough for the ad, though, right?
It might be, but it's just but 90% of people skip the ads. I mean, it's just, it's like, come on.
Yeah, as soon as if it's not like if it doesn't force you to watch it, as soon as the skip ad comes on, you're hitting it, unless you've got like a playlist running in the background or something, and you're just like listening to music or something like that.
Or you're watching it on the TV while you're playing a video game, and it's not worth it to go hit the button. Because I mean, I can't tell you how many times I don't have 4 video sources going at once. I mean, it happens. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, that would be. I don't know. I might have the TV running, and then I'll have like I might be editing a video or something that I just recorded, and that might be the most. I usually might only have 2 things going. If I have the TV going and I'm like listening to a YouTube video that I'm like transcribing or something, I have my headphones on, so I'm not even like really paying attention to what is even happening on the TV. I'm just like in the zone transcribing, because I'm just like, what did that person say? I gotta like back 5 seconds. Let me listen to it like 10 times to figure out like what that word is.
Yeah, I've done that many times. I'm guilty of watching like 3 or 4 streams at the same time and sorting them in my head while I'm doing it. So yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'm weird though. I'm weird. Well, I thought about being a mod at one point in time. I was like, before I ever thought about having a channel, I'm like, because I was literally engaged in YouTube a lot, so it was insane.
Yeah, I just, dude, I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't do that. I feel like I get just when I like jump from stream to stream, sometimes I'm just like, man, I'm like, you're ending right now, and then I go to the next person. It's, oh, you're ending too. Like everyone's quitting. Like I don't like join in, and it's over.
Yeah. But man. Well, you're in demand though. People are always wanting you to pop over. I mean, I would love to have you on like multiple streams every week, but you're just busy, man.
And send me an invite. I'd be happy. I'd happy to join. I'm gonna join Open Airlock.
I think Tim's awesome. Oh my god.
Yeah, next Monday. Because I think he had Ryan this Monday. And so I'm going to be joining him next Monday.
Yeah.
He starts at 9 too. So.
Yeah, I got to get him on my show too. There's a bunch of guys I got to reach out to. It's like Sunday's the only day I'm able to do like the big panel, and And so I really that's the best stream. It's like this one, man. I like always like when I'm doing stuff like right now is the time when I'm got the black pill running when the boss is doing dinner or I'm helping or whatever. It's just, you guys are like on.
I get invited to I don't remember, it's the Cardinal Sin, I think.
Yeah.
He invites me on Sundays. I don't do Sundays because I'm not trying to work on Sundays.
I did a Sunday. I if I could, I would also opt to do nothing Sunday, but that's not the way the world works. And it's the only day I could get my panel show together, and so I start it late enough that it doesn't interfere with other obligations.
No, and I mean, I'm gonna even make the Bible. Like I remember the Pharisees were taking issues with the apostles going out and picking food in the field on the Sabbath, and Christ kind of like rebuked them and was like, well, they got to eat. So
I mean, are you kidding? They got to eat.
Yeah. So you season 2, that doesn't really surprise me. That was pretty big.
The first season was great. Very well done. I'm a fan of Dexter, so this fed into my wheelhouse, right? You know, like this super intellectual serial killer-y guy. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it was. My wife and I were watching it the first season. We didn't watch any of the second season. And I just kind of noped out towards maybe halfway through the first season, when he was like at the Ren Fair and he like ran into someone. They were at the Ren Fair or whatever. And that's when I kind of like left out. I thought it was going to be a little bit more smarter than what it was. Honestly, I thought it was going to be like he actually wasn't going to kill people, and then
he ended up offing people.
Yeah. Like, so maybe that's just my expectations.
You've been down this road before, you know.
Yeah,
that's so. I mean, there's a lot in there. Again, it's just those are the kinds of shows I like. You know, it's like it'll work.
No, crime shows are always crime mysteries and thrillers. I feel like
I watched. Gosh, what is the name of it? It's based on the formation of the behavioral science unit. It was on Netflix, I think, or crap, I don't remember the name of it. It's really good. That's gonna bother me.
Was it on? Did it used to be on CBS?
No. This was 1000% never going to be on network.
Oh, okay.
But it's really good, and if I remember the name of it, which I will eventually, it's one of those shows I was like, this is really good, but it's really slow. It's when you make a show that it takes you 2 years to get a season out, that's annoying for the people trying to watch it. It's like,
especially in this day and age, where you get one every year.
It makes no sense because production timetables have been sped up dramatically. I mean, Mindhunters. Thank you. That's exactly it. Mindhunters. So well done. The casting is excellent. Characters are really well developed. It is very, very good.
I think that's a Netflix show too. I feel like
so. And here's the problem. I have not looked at Netflix in a long time for reasons.
I haven't. I mean, my so I used to share the account with my sister, and she got rid of it, and I haven't re-upped.
There you go.
I haven't had a need to. The only thing that really like tempted me was Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway. And I don't know. I was like, I'll just wait till it comes out on Blu-ray and I'll grab it then. So, but here's the movies. Bird Box, #1.
Obvious. Yeah, I mean, and that's an interesting thing. I was when I would go
2-3 years old.
Yeah, a couple of years old now. When I would go to the gym, every morning for like 2 weeks, that's all everybody was talking about. I mean, we'd get there at 5 a.m. and everybody would be warming up because we'd play racquetball for 2.5 hours or whatever. And there's 16 of us that get together in this group. And that's all they talked about for 2 weeks. I was like, okay, so I'm going to watch it. And then I was like, it's all right.
It's pretty much, I mean, I remember people would just be like, it's like A Quiet Place, but on Netflix. Like with
basically.
Yeah, it's A Quiet Place, but it's like sound or whatever.
Well, and Sandra, yeah, exactly. And Sandra Bullock was blind. Exactly. Sandra Bullock was very good, and that's that. So yeah,
Extraction is number 2. Hemsworth up there.
Yeah, Hemsworth. Yeah,
action film.
Yeah, which was very good. It's so good, in fact, that we're getting Extraction 2. That
Yep.
was announced here in the last couple of days.
Scorsese's The Irishman, but that's like a really long movie, like super long, so it's not surprising.
And it was also one of the few that was released in theaters as well.
Yes, it was. Kissing Booth 2, again, a sequel.
Don't know anything
surprising.
about it.
It's a romantic comedy.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I watched the first one with my wife, so I know that it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. You were roped into watching the first one.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Right.
I don't know. Some of the romantic comedies I'm not like against. Like I remember, I know they made like they did the remake of like He's All That. But, like I actually enjoyed like the original She's All That. It's like if the Mean Girls movie is on, I'll watch that. Like if it just happens to be on and like my wife turns it on, I'll sit there and watch it. It's not too bad.
I like the goofier ones, right? So I like Fool's Gold was really good.
Oh, with that was with Matthew McConaughey.
McConaughey, yeah. And Kate, right? And that was good. And I liked 10
Things I Hate About You.
Oh yeah, that's old school, dude. That's yeah. I mean, if we're gonna go back there, I'm gonna say, Romancing the Stone. I'm gonna talk about like that kind of stuff, right? I mean, technically, the first Mummy movie was a romantic comedy, if you look at it that way.
It was. Yeah. I liked that. Well, the remake, the Mummy remake with like Frasier, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. With the chick that Rachel Weisz, right? She was Black Widow.
Yeah. I really like those Mummy. I like those Mummy movies. I thought those were very entertaining. It was very. I mean, honestly, it was Indiana Jones-esque.
Yeah,
I would argue.
Yeah, it was really very well done. Yeah,
spiritual successor of Indiana Jones, I think.
Maybe. Well, I actually National Treasure.
Yes, I like National Treasure too.
Yeah.
It's all of those films had good leading, charismatic men
and amazing women.
Yes, and the men were would protect their women, but the women could handle themselves as well. And they weren't just like they weren't just like Terminators, right? They had to use their wits and their smarts as well. Which I always enjoyed that.
I love it, man. I love it. And again, I mean, we are, I don't know. We know what good movies are, right? Now, because you can identify what's a good movie.
Yeah.
There still are some. I mean, there are some people that make good stuff. You have S. Craig Zahler making great stuff right now. You have, but we're not obviously romantic comedies, but you have some great storytellers out there, just not a ton of them anymore, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about Dark. I think the German Netflix productions have been great that I've watched. Dark, Barbarians, fantastic.
That's the other thing. It's not in this country anymore, which is bizarre. Because I mean, if you so on Netflix, there's the one of the best stories, a retelling of like a story everybody knows, is Narcos, right? Narcos was brilliant. It's a Gaumont production, right? In partnership with Netflix, and they did what two seasons of that in Colombia, then they moved it to Mexico, right?
Yeah.
And Pedro Pascal was featured in the first 2 seasons of Narcos, right?
Yeah, I enjoyed the Narcos that I watched. I don't think I watched Narcos Mexico. I watched the original one.
It was so good.
The Mexico one is better, you think?
Oh, yeah, I think it is. Okay. And they had a second season of it that I haven't watched, obviously, because, Netflix.
Because the first one is Escobar, if I remember right. Yeah. And the second one is El Chapo. The Mexico one is El Chapo.
Yeah, I think, no. Oh, gosh.
It's not
I can't remember his name.
The guy from Andor played.
The guy, Cassian Andor. Yeah. I don't remember what his nickname was, but he's the Thin Man. He's the Thin Man. Yeah, he is. It is so good, man. It is. It was. You see why, we have so many problems down with Mexico with the cartels and everything else, and how it's all run. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it really kind of lays out the progression of what happened down there. So it's crazy, and why? And now, I mean, they've taken themselves. The Mexican cartels have taken themselves out of the drug business and put themselves into the Angel Luis Guzman. Yeah,
I think that's El Chapo.
Aniel Luis Guzman. Maybe I just
I'm pretty sure that's El Chapo.
Yeah, I don't. I just
Yeah.
don't place it. But it's anyway. The crap. I was in the middle of something. I don't remember what it was.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It places you right in the middle of what's happening, and you can see why now they've moved from pot and other drugs to human trafficking. That's what's happening now, right? And they're making millions and millions of dollars every day moving humans into the United States and enslaving them, which is something nobody talks about.
Yeah. I always talk about that. Well, when it comes up, but slavery is bigger than ever now.
Yeah, even in this country. Yeah.
But we don't talk about it.
No.
Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead is 8th. 187 million. 3 million behind Enola Holmes.
A lot of people were unhappy with the Army of the Dead.
Netflix doesn't seem to be. They're doing that like animated film, and they're doing an anime thing, and then they got like a live action prequel too. I think is coming out. I think they just announced the live action prequel.
Is that just because they have Zack Snyder, or because they have a deal with him? He has a deal with him, right?
I think he's he's Netflix now. But I'm actually surprised Bright's not on here. I felt like that was kind of a big one when that came out. I know a lot of people like panned it. I thought it was enjoyable. They are doing the Bright anime.
Yeah, a lot of people enjoyed it. I mean, hard to say. I mean, and again, how long's the movie?
Right.
And so on and so forth. And is it available on all of their platforms? Because maybe it's only a US film. Maybe this is
that's true too. Yeah.
So let's break that down, right? When you look at Money Heist and a few of these others, those are foreign markets. So you already have other sets of eyeballs on this in other places, and if it's primarily a Spanish film, there are way more people in Spanish speaking countries than there are in, the English parts of the world where that might be available. So, unless for some reason in this story that I missed because I came in late, it says in the US.
I didn't actually read the story. I kind of just scrolled down to the.
Oh, well, no worries. I was just curious.
So, speaking of Vox Media's Code Conference Monday afternoon, co-CEO Ted Sarandos revealed a total number of hours.
Just says streamers. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like. They don't say whether it was.
Which is why you're going to have such a high number of. There's a gnat in my space.
You're pulling a Spencer. Anyway. Kill that fly.
That's bugging me. No, but so if that's the case, then it makes sense. I mean, you're going to be like, okay, Money Heist 3, 4. Yeah, it makes sense. 13 Reasons Why. That was a weird one, man.
It was huge. It was huge.
Bridgerton is the biggest thing they got going. It's going to be the biggest thing they have going for a while.
No, the Squid Game now, I think, is about to beat Bridgerton, the Korean drama, like the murder drama. No, they're already saying that. They're already talking about it.
Overall, I mean, in total minutes stream,
beat Squid Game is. They
just
said
came
it
out like less than like.
I'm telling you, man.
I believe you. God dang.
I saw a headline on it.
These are weird numbers. Dude.
Here it is, right here. News 18. This looks like an NBC affiliate. Korean survivalist drama Squid Game on track to be biggest Netflix show, beating Bridgerton.
On track to be.
Yeah, right. Well, right. Obviously, it hasn't beat it, but if it keeps trending the way it is, and it's trending on Twitter like every day now. They don't give you any nine here. This is what Squid Game will definitely be our biggest non-English language show in the world for sure. It's only been out for 9 days, and it's a very good chance it's going to be our biggest show ever. Said Netflix's co-CEO Ted Sarandos. So there you go.
There have been a lot of really interesting articles about Ted recently. Saying that he's essentially the biggest player in Hollywood now. There have been a lot of very complimentary articles around him.
I would say so. I mean, I think he just came out and was like, I thought I saw an article where he was supporting Scarlett Johansson too. So
of course, I mean, you're playing for talent,
right?
I just like, all right, well, okay, we're gonna get whoever is on that rah-rah train. When actually that train's going the opposite way. I mean, to be honest with you, this is that was all about the talent deal.
Well, you saw
and
they just merged, right?
oh yeah,
There's
yeah,
like,
ICM partners. Yeah, I reported that
yeah,
2 days
yeah,
ago. Yeah, yeah. No, it's one of those things, man, where I'm like, okay, and again, that's him pulling out his and waving it around at Endeavor. Ari Emanuel, he's like, hey Ari, I'm gonna do this, and Ari's like, I
yeah.
don't care. You just acquired ICM. They're a bunch of below the line talent. I don't care. So it's like, all right. Anyway, yeah, he like I said, there's been a lot of complimentary articles on him, a lot for Ted Sardonis.
That doesn't surprise me. I think I saw something there. Disney Plus numbers basically like flatline or something like
Yep.
that.
Oh yeah, well we knew that, John. I mean, we were
Yeah.
talking about that. It was going to happen. Their churn's overcoming their growth.
Yeah,
And
I know
yeah.
Netflix lost like $500,000 or something like that.
They keep getting pounded too. Yeah, they're losing every time they put up one of these questionable things. They lose. They and those people don't come back. With Netflix.
I haven't come back, so I don't know if I'm going to come back. I might come back for the live action Gundam that Ravul was
right, but for how long? A month? But you're gonna give them $9 and then you're out. Yeah, it's like whatever. But
it's cheaper than going to the movie theater.
It is, and that's the other problem that they have, right? So let's say that they stay on target and they're spending 18 million. 18 billion, $18 billion on content for the next year, right? Disney's spending 14 billion for original content on Disney Plus, right? So these are all the numbers they've been throwing around there. I think Disney's actually going to end up pushing that up to about 17 because that was their eventual goal, is about 17 billion a year. So you're starting to see them spending all this money for original content. They're dumping all this money into films. These companies, that's not their money. That they're borrowing that money. Eventually, they're not going to be able to borrow this money anymore. Netflix is already up against it. They've been up against it for a long time. I mean, back in the day, they were borrowing to pay bills.
Oh, I remember. Yeah,
they need 215 million subscribers globally to be a profitable venture. And that's a number they've talked about, not something, that I'm pulling out of thin air, something, but it's over 200 million. Disney needs a lot. In fact, they're not going to hit their number. They were downgraded they were downgraded by Wells Fargo day before yesterday, maybe yesterday. And for good reason. I've been saying it for a long time. They're not going to be able to keep up with what they projected. 2024 to become profitable? No chance. They can't, dude. I don't even think Hulu's profitable yet. So hey, perfect. Well done.
Disney gets Analyst downgrade. This is from 2020. Hold on, sorry.
No. This comes out of the Wells Fargo. Yeah, it's Cahall. Cahall. I think Cahall. Yeah, he's the mouthpiece over there to tries to drive the bus for Wells Fargo, which is funny because the guys if you're going to pay attention to anybody, it's the knuckleheads from J.P. Morgan. And you only pay attention to them because they're completely tied to the world entity that we all don't really like because they're trying to create an authoritarian world government. But that's not what this show's about. Sorry.
I mean, it's okay. We do talk about some of that stuff.
I hang out, but I can get in the weeds
about it.
Yeah, I can get in the weeds on it. So
I'm not seeing. Okay, here we go. Disney dips. Here we go. Found Seeking Alpha. Okay, I know this site. They do some of the. They put some of the stuff behind paywalls, but they do a good job of transcription, and that's how I use them sometimes.
It's good to see your emails up there. That's awesome. Thanks.
I
close those.
I don't know why that came up. I think that's Google. For me to sign in.
You got Google.
People know I tell my Bounty email is public, so it's not that hard to figure out what my personal email is. Use it any. I get people signing me up for like weird, like horrible stuff anyways.
Oh, dude, I get some of the stuff I get is just dumb. I'm like, are you kidding? Yeah, whatever.
The bank cut its price target to $203 from $216. That trims implied upside to 14%.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what that means. I don't know what this means. I understand this.
Well, basically they're saying that this is top, and this is actually higher than I had seen. But again, that's a pretty decent cut. It's saying,
It's a
it
huge
has,
cut.
yeah, it has the opportunity upside's 14%. That's a lower number than what you're looking for if you're actually seeking alpha. And that's due to the fact that investors have causes for concern on a lighter subscriber forecast. And it's a long,
right here.
that's a long road. Yeah, exactly. There it is. Da-da-da-da. That's the most important part. But bam.
Yeah, that's a 20 million decline.
Yep.
That they're cutting back on.
Yep.
So that's a lot.
Which means they won't be profitable in 2024. That's the problem, right?
Right.
So you have the magic number of 200 plus million is really hard to attain. And the way you do it is to go to these international markets. But the problem is the value in those international markets is nada. Right, because we
see that when they expanded into India with the Hotstar stuff, and you saw the price per subscriber
that ARPU is 70 cents for each customer in India. 70 cents. The stateside number is higher, but it averages out to 470 ARPU, or at least it did, and that's not enough.
Definitely below $5 now, because I remember before they did the huge release into India, it was above $5. They did. It was. I remember.
Close. I thought it was 490. I think it was 497, but you might be right.
I thought it was a little over $5. I thought it was like 515 or something.
It could be. You could be right. I mean, it depends on the market, and that's the other problem. Okay, so you can play numbers games with films when you release them internationally, because the box office revenue in foreign films is higher, even though the markets are smaller. They generate the revenue itself is higher because the ticket prices are higher compared to the U.S. dollar.
Right, but they also don't get to take as much, right? I think I think Odin. I was watching something from Odin, and he was saying foreign theaters usually take a bigger cut.
It just depends. I mean, it's not like China. China takes a deep cut. But it depends specifically on the market and the negotiated contract, etc. Globally, it averages to 50%. So you just look at that number, and that's about where you're going to be. And I think probably Odin would agree, with the exception of China, which is why I think China's just always been a red herring. I did that on purpose, but it's sorry, that's just one of those things that's in my head. So, but it's one of those it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, so running these streaming services in Thailand or in other places or Indonesia or whatever, you're going to get a bunch of humans, but it's going to cost you a lot of money. In the end of the day, your average revenue per user gets eaten up by distribution costs, because your pass-through costs, which is something nobody talks about, is what it costs to host and provide the service for the material you're distributing. There's a lot of costs that go along with this. And so becoming profitable can't be tied directly to subscriber numbers. It never can be. And that's the biggest problem with the way everybody in the industry, the financial side of things, is tracking this. Subscribers mean jack diddly poo. Doesn't mean anything. They're losing value across the board because they're losing value in their theme parks, which customers are starting to realize. You're seeing a market share being pulled away on the theme park side by Universal. Universal's pulling from multiple markets now. They just opened up in the biggest market. They're opening up in Beijing. Universal's opening in Beijing, not Shanghai, Beijing. Okay, so now you have a Universal that's opening up there. That's going to steal market share from Shanghai and other places in China. You have Wander Group over there still trying to figure out how to get back into the theme park business. Disney is letting themselves be cast as less valuable in all different ways, including perception. That's a bad idea, and it's going to look bad long term for any kind of investor. And any analyst that's looking at that can look at that and look at consumer confidence erode in certain brands, and Disney is having theirs erode slowly. If you look at Morning Consult, several of the other things, because I look at trusted brands all the time, and you can see the diminishment of the value. It's been happening for a little bit now. And
I mean, I just remember I didn't listen to the last quarter report, but I don't know, it was maybe two quarter reports ago, and they were talking about how their theme park revenue was obviously in the toilet, but they were able to make up some of it because they were charging such higher prices.
Yeah.
And so they had this small group niche group of people that was buying these like huge. They were the ones that spending all of the money. So like you had like a lesser group of people, and that's how they were trying to spin it. It's like, yeah, we're still getting lots of people, or still have people buying like lots of stuff in our retail at the parks. There's a lot. It's not like that. The number of people was like significantly reduced.
Well, and that's going to run its course, and then they're going to be back in the toilet. And again, here's the thing: the dirty little secret was during their shutdown because of the global crisis we just went through, across the board for just food and beverage. Yeah, sorry, across the board, they increased prices 20%.
Yeah,
food and beverage.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
Just
and
that. Retail
food was already expensive. Food's already expensive in those theme parks.
Yeah.
Like it's
I mean,
expensive.
Yeah, when you look at it, you're like, how much am I paying to do this? Is a freaking hot dog. I'm paying $12 for a hot dog. Are you flipping kidding me?
Yeah,
you know, it's nuts.
Dude, I go, so like the entertainment that I go to now, I was talking about this yesterday on our Downing Babel stream with Spencer. Like I don't watch a lot of TV and movies anymore. I go to like when I do go for entertainment on Saturday night, I go to watch the races. I pay like $18 for a ticket, and food is like $10-15, and that's like a burger and fries and a drink.
Right.
So and that's so I'm paying like maybe like $30 total. And that's it. And I'm there for like racing starts at 7, usually ends like 10:30, 11. So it's like 4 hours of entertainment. Man. So yeah.
That's awesome. It's awesome. Go ahead.
Oh, we got a $5 super chat from Conrad. Roof Green the Based. Looks like Hollywood was promised a fast, great reset. However, inflation caught up faster than they hoped. People won't accept 30% inflation soon. Yeah, I think we're already kind of seeing this. We'll be surprised. We'll see how much longer people have patience for. I think November will be really interesting with the midterm elections if they aren't tampered with, which is always a possibility.
Tampered with, he says.
I think it's a huge possibility.
No, actually, we use a different term, John. It's called fortified. You have
fortified.
To remember
the
language.
Fortified.
Time Magazine gave us fortified.
Right. Yeah, I saw California passed like the full mail in ballot stuff now. It reminds me of. Did you watch Gangs of New York?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, great. Yeah.
You remember?
Brutal.
Yeah. Do you remember the scene where they're it's Bill versus the Irish guy for mayor or sheriff or something like that, I think, and the Irish guy wins, the guy with the bat, the notches in his bat. Right. And then when they're voting, the guy comes out and what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio's character's like, he's like, we've already voted twice, and he's like, well, vote 2 more, and he sends him back in. Tammany Hall is the politician, but I think Tammany Hall he wasn't running against Tammany Hall. I think it was Bill versus the Irish guy for this one, because Tammany Hall was kind of like he saw the tide swinging in favor of the Irish, and he switched sides. He kind of like he was behind Bill at the beginning, and then he kind of switches sides. But yeah, like it just reminded me of that.
It's not about the number of ballots. It's about who counts the votes.
Oh, right.
Come on.
That too. But if you have an overwhelming majority, it can be kind of hard to hide your shenanigans.
I think that's happened. We've had some neighbors that have had some really strange results.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our good friends that are on the southern hemisphere that we're fond of are having some difficulties as well.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the vampires from Underworld definitely should be voting for sure.
Yeah, they would fix things. That's the thing. I mean, here's the thing. I forget the actual name of the clan, but there's a very sophisticated group of vampires that would be very excited to not have what's happening happen. They are 1000% about freedom and not what this stuff is. They don't accept the lash well. So
yeah. All right. All right. Did you see what is going on with did you see this Lord of the Rings story that we did earlier today?
And I don't know that I kept up. I was
Okay.
doing a lot of other stuff. So
All right. Well, let me pull this up. I did a video earlier. I'm sure you're familiar with the OneRing.net.
oh yeah, they're amazing. I can't tell you the quality content that comes out of there for us YouTubers is extraordinary.
Yeah. So I think I was the only one who kind of saw this.
Oh boy.
Um,
Everybody else is blocked. Are you kidding? Or what do you
they,
think?
they haven't blocked me. I'm like shocked they haven't blocked me because I was kind of indignant towards them.
Do you have a check? Do you have a check mark, John?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, I was just wondering if you joined the blue check mark career.
We don't have a blue check. I'll be honest, like I wouldn't mind having one just because there's clearly perks for it. You get more it's obviously shown more in people's feeds and stuff like that. Right. So like I'm not against that, but like it's not like I'm gonna sell out what we're doing to get a blue check mark.
Just get quoted in enough like mainstream stuff and you'll be good to go, bro.
I mean, we did. If you remember, we did get on Twitter. We were on Twitter trending for the Star Wars lady who literally has not done another Star Wars show since our reporting. So make of that what you will.
Yeah, she's terrible.
I haven't seen, as far as I know, she has not done another of the High Republic Star Wars show. So I don't know if they just canceled the show or what happened, but haven't seen it since. So look, something happened there.
They're running bad. They've been running away from their bad behavior for a while. They actually hired a new person. I don't know if you saw that, but Lucasfilm hired a new media person. I can't remember the name of the person to replace the person that's been with Lucasfilm for a long, long time. And again, I'm not sure that she's the person to blame, but yeah, it's interesting. I need to find that story. I covered that like a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago.
I doubt the media person's to blame because everything that we've covered at Lucasfilm, it is definitely a corporate culture.
Well, yeah, I think, that's the problem is you bring in a bunch of, narratively agenda-driven humans and you end up with narratively bad crapola. I mean, that's what's happened.
Yeah, so Lord of the Rings fan site embarrassed itself by promoting an easily disprovable gay elves theory. And of course, that fan site is the OneRing.net. So the website's official Twitter account retweeted two separate users that posted an excerpt from the recently released The Nature of Middle-earth book that's edited by Carl F. Hossetter. And if you read here, it's actually the first ever publication of J.R.R. Tolkien's final writings on Middle-earth, covering a wide range of subjects, and it's perfect for those who have read and enjoyed the Silmarillion, yada yada yada. So it's a collection of Tolkien's writings edited by Carl F. Hossetter, and so you get these.
I have a question. Have you ever tried to read the Silmarillion?
Yes, I have, and I put it down.
It's like Genesis, dude. Yeah, you begat. It's like you open it up. It's like this begat that. And I was like, good crimey. All right, stop begatting and let's begin something. Holy crap! Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it, like, so you have to remember it wasn't. If I remember correctly, it's always been it's always been kind of like an ongoing book, and I think it was published posthumously. If I'm saying that word right. I don't think it was.
Yeah. Posthumously.
Yeah. So it wasn't something that like Tolkien published himself. It was after he died, and I think his son Christopher published it, and it was just kind of more for the to get it out there kind of thing, provide some more background and information on the world, because I did listen to interestingly enough, the OneRing.net did do an interview with Carl Hossetter after they did this to him. He probably didn't know about this, but he was talking about that and how Christopher Tolkien, because I guess he was good friends with Tolkien, Christopher, and he was talking about how the Silmarillion was kind of just like an ongoing work with Middle-earth, and Tolkien never stopped like building Middle-earth and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, in order to keep everything straight, you need essentially the outline for it, and that's kind of what Silmarillion was designed to be, I imagine.
Yeah, Josiah Fitch says it's a lore book. Yes. But yeah, so you have these you can see here the OneRing.net retweeted this person here first, Gay Elves Canon, Tolkienian Gay Elves Canon, and they have a screenshot, which we'll get to that later. And then you have this other person here, Hector Guerra, right-wing Tolkien fans. Amazon is going to ruin Tolkien with their gay and lesbian elves. Tolkien, the correct terms in Kenya are Melatorni and Melateldi. So then let's actually read this. This is their, this is how they're trying to, doesn't even make sense if you actually read this here, so let's read it. And this is a footnote, just for provide some context. This is a footnote from a paragraph discussing marriage between elves and like kind of defining what love means in that relationship. But so it says here, in this matter, the elven tongues make distinctions. To speak of Kenya, so Kenya is like that's a term for elves, if you're unfamiliar with that. They call themselves the Kendi, is the elves. So it's like the elvish language. Love, which men might call friendship, right there, it says friendship, but for the greater strength and warmth and permanency with which it was felt by the Kendi, was represented by the root of mel. And so if you remember, melon is the word that they use to open the mines of Moria, and it means friend, right? Melon is the word that Gandalf uses to open the mines of Moria. This was primarily a motion or inclination of the Fea. Fea is soul, so like spirit. That's kind of what that word means, and therefore could occur between persons of the same sex or different sexes. It included no sexual or procreative desire, though naturally an incarnate. So incarnates are elves that are like pure elves. The difference of sex altered the emotion, since sex is held by the Eldar. That's another term for the elves, to belong also to the Fea and not solely to the Hroa. So again, Fea is soul, Hroa is like the body, and is therefore not wholly included in procreation. Such persons were often called Melatorni, love brothers, and Melateldi, love sisters. So it's basically just like really good friends. Is like that's what he's defining this as.
Well, the terminology for best friends.
Yeah. That's what he's saying. Basically. And these people somehow like decided to take that and turn it into gay and lesbian elves. So even like what they're using to try and claim this refutes what they're actually saying. And I think it's just like a microcosm of the problems we have in society is these people twist and change what these words actually mean to fit their agenda. And it's just, I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. So yeah, I had to do this.
Words mean things, John. You're a writer. Yes, you know this.
They do.
And right now, if you can change a word to mean something else, that's what's being done. And they are doing that at every step, and they're trying to apply that retroactively, that language, that groupthink, hive mind, baloney sausage that I hate, to absolutely everything. So they can get away with doing this kind of crap to properties that never, ever had any indication that they were in line with this, very odd way of thinking. So there's that.
So like, of course, I'm like, yes, Frodo and Sam, like, they are Melatorni because they're best friends, and they have that like deep dedication and friendship towards each other. But they're clearly not sexually attracted to each other, as Sam marries a woman at the end of the books and the movies. But yeah, so if you actually look at the next paragraph, literally the next paragraph in the book, so this is the paragraph here that you get the footnote. So the footnote is right here. This is the sentence here. They could postpone marriage, or within marriage postpone the time of the children. So it's talking about elves here, either because they were otherwise occupied in pursuits that absorbed them, or because they had not found a desired spouse, or as men say, fallen in love. And then you get the footnote here with the asterisk, which then leads to what we just read. That's the first paragraph of the footnote. And then here is the second paragraph of the footnote. The desire for marriage and bodily union was represented by Ur, the root of Ur. But this never in the uncorrupted occurred without love, root of Mel, nor without the desire for children. This element was therefore seldom used except to describe occasions of its dominance in the process of courting and marriage. The feelings of lovers desiring marriage and of husband and wife were usually described by the root of Mel. This love remained, of course, permanent after the satisfaction of the root of Ur in the time of the children, but was strengthened by the satisfaction and the memory of it to a normally unbreakable bond of feeling, not here to speak of law. So clearly there's a difference between Mel, that like dedication, devotion, friendship that Tolkien here that men can also call love. But then you also have obviously which is the union of the bodily union in marriage.
But that doesn't help advance any agenda, John. So I don't know why you're bringing this up.
Clearly, that's why they cut it off, right? It's why, like, oh, let me get this first paragraph here, and I can twist the words, even though it doesn't say what it is. And then the second paragraph that clearly like refutes everything I'm trying to do. I'm not gonna leave that out. Like,
let's leave this bit out where we're talking about marriage between a husband and wife, male and female, and for the production of kids.
Yeah,
which, guess what? Involves two different, sexes. I'm going to use that word.
Yep.
Insane.
That's a proper word.
Yeah. Insane.
So clearly the root of Mel and Ur are differentiated. But then if you look at actually how Mel is defined by Tolkien in The Lost Road and other writings, which was edited by his son Christopher, this is what it says. Love as friend. It says that it's clearly defined as friendship again, which he said in this new footnote here too, in this new book, The Nature of Middle Earth. So Tolkien is just reiterating what he said when it had already been published previously.
Yeah, thank God for Christopher Tolkien, right? My goodness.
Jeez. So and then so then what's even better is we have the editor of The Nature of Middle Earth, Christopher, Mr. Hofstetter here, or Carl Hofstetter. Sorry, I don't know why I want to put an F in there. It's Hofstetter. There's no F. Carl, because his middle initials F. I think that's why. But he actually responded to this user Transhuman Angel that posted another tweet, not one of the tweets we show, but another tweet using that same screenshot, and he basically just absolutely destroys it. He says, nowhere does Tolkien ascribe the meaning romance to the root of Mel. He specifically excludes sexuality from its meaning. He says that men might call a root of Mel friendship, but that it was felt with greater strength and warmth and permanency than what men call friendship. As such, the root of Mel seems closer in meaning to devotion and dedication, and that's why I was using those two words, because that's how this editor here is defining them. And I think he has clearly more understanding than I do, because he's been doing this for seemingly quite a bit of his life, and is
an actual scholar would be exactly.
And this guy literally works for NASA on it in his main
in his job. That's amazing. Yeah.
And then he says, think of Sam and Frodo. Obviously, that's why I put them in there too. But I think even before that, that's where my mind was at. I was like, this is describes Sam and Frodo's friendship. You could even say it describes Merry and Pippin's friendship. It describes Legolas and Gimli's friendship and Aragorn too. But it has nothing to do with either romance or sexual desire, which clearly is stated in that footnote. But these people are stubborn and they don't want it. So this guy has a 3-paragraph response. I'm not going to read that. Hostetter just quotes this guy's did you actually search this? Have you been reading this thread? Basically, it's such a response that I make. Did you read the article before you wrote that?
Amazing.
And then he says here, the devotion that married couples feel for each other can indeed be felt by men and women for each other. We ourselves experience this in familial bonds, which can be extended to non-family members. It has nothing at all to do with either sex or romance. Yeah, I have a great relationship with my dad. I feel that devotion and dedication to my dad, but there's nothing like that.
But if
they're trying to imply.
But if you put it in the context of the experience of J.R.R. Tolkien, it's because he's describing. Oh, you do? Okay, I was going to say. But you're a brilliant writer. We think the same way.
Keep going on, because you might be different, because I apply with his Catholicism.
It's because he experienced the love of a band of brothers. He was in a war. He was in the foxhole. And so, and I haven't read this article that you've written, but I mean, that's just naturally where my brain goes. It's like, this guy experienced brotherly love, which is what that is. It's not the family you were born into. It's the family that you went through hell with that he was talking about here. And that's that kind of love exists forever. We see that represented on Twitter all the time when two war buddies see each other for the first time in years, and they jump up and they hug each other, and it's not sexual, it's It's that I missed you, man. Thank you. You know, it's good to see you. And it's genuine. I mean, it's the kind of love that when we were, you know, ancient tribes that we had for one another when somebody had been gone on an excursion, you know, and they come back for a long period of time and you've been through heck with that person. And what they did is to support the tribe. There's all these kinds of experiences that you have in the human condition. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
The perfect example of that is those dad homecoming. It's usually the dad.
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
it's the mom. Those homecoming videos, and they're seeing like their son or they're seeing their kids or whatever, and then like that just emotion that those two have. That's
It's
really talking about
raw.
that familial bond,
Raw.
that emotion. Yeah, it's so great. And you really do see that.
And that emotion is so pure that even for someone like me, that kind of watching that kind of video will bring tears to my eyes because it's you know that emotion, you understand it, right? And it's, you know, it's not romantic in any sense of the word.
Right. Yeah, and I didn't make the World War I analogy, as you pointed out. I kind of went a different way, different angle. But no, that is totally true, and I'm glad you did bring that up as well. He did have that, and World War I definitely shaped a lot of Lord of the Rings for sure. But yeah, so then here we get this other response. This gives a bit of a longer response here. Same guy is responding to. He says it's more complicated than that. He also says that so he basically like he's quoting here the second paragraph that is left out, and then he says here, so the root of Mel, which men might call friendship, but for the greater strength and warmth and primacy with which it was felt by the Kendi, is felt in addition to the root of Ur by those desiring marriage and vital union. The root of Ur is always accompanied by the root of Mel, but the root of Mel is not the root of Ur. The root of Mel is, however, strengthened by the satisfaction of the root of Ur. So the root of Mel felt by a married couple after the time of the children is not the same as before, and thus not the same as that felt among Melatorni and Melateldi. I'm assuming, I have no idea if I'm saying those right. I hope I'm.
Yeah, you're close enough because that's how I read them in my mind, going way back in the day. Yeah. I'm not a Tolkien scholar either, but this is pretty straightforward. I mean, you don't have to be, you know, a rocket scientist. Oh, well, this guy is, but to figure this out, you know, he works for NASA, by the way.
Yeah. So then he sums it up in a little bit like plain English here. He says, in short, it seems to me that the root of Ur is the desire for bodily union, while the root of Mel is the devotion that those experiencing the root of Ur likewise feel for each other and feel in still more strengthened form after the time of the children, as well as the devotion felt by Melatorni and Melateldi. So, and then obviously I get into here about like Tolkien wouldn't have had, more than likely would not have actually expressed any kind of like homosexual activity between elves, given the fact that he's a devout Catholic and he calls the Lord of the Rings a fundamentally religious and Catholic work, unconsciously so at first, but consciously in the revision. And that's in letter 142 sent to Father Robert Murray of the Society of Jesuits. And then I clearly have the Catechism of the Catholic Church's teaching on that. So,
man, this has to speak to you, John, and many other Catholics around the world. It makes me, you know, I won't go into my faith, but I'll say this, that it's very clear what this was, and this particular take on it is disingenuous. At every step, the One Ring is wrong, and they're so wrong that it blows my mind that they consider themselves to, you know, be scholarly Tolkien people.
Well, it's obviously run by two different people, because I was actually listening to the interview with the Hofstadter guy with the OneRing.net. They literally did an interview with him yesterday. And they had the Cliff Broadbeam guy. I don't know if that's his real name. But that's what he goes by. And he's literally talking about like how like Tolkien's like the Catholicism, the connection with it is like so inspiring to him. And I have no idea if he's a Catholic or not, but he was like talking about all that stuff. But then he works for a website that's like literally, or he I don't know if he gets paid for it or whatever, but he defends this website. I've seen him do it on Twitter. He defends them for stuff like this. So it's just absolutely ridiculous that they're trying to push this. And I think I want to bring up this tweet. I retweeted it earlier tonight, and this is their rival.
Did Gary see it?
I don't know if Gary saw it. I sent it to Lady Gravemaster.
All right, Lady G.
Yeah, I sent it to her, but I don't know if Gary saw it.
Oh man, talk about a smart person. Lady G joined me on Sunday, the culture review. She was incredible, dude.
Yeah, I gotta get her on here.
Yeah, she's awesome, man.
Yeah, so this is a different One Ring. This is Torque. This is the OneRing.com. And different from the OneRing.net, but they said please stop. And I don't think they're talking about me. I think they're talking about the OneRing.net's retweets. At least that's how I interpret it. I could be wrong though. But
yeah, Tolkien wrote for the love of language,
right?
And Arda, not to make personal political statements. Boom.
Right.
Gosh, yeah, it was probably and that's the thing. I mean, maybe they read the article, maybe who knows, but I think isn't Tor the one that is called the OneRing.net on the carpet more than a couple of times?
Yeah, the OneRing.net is the one that like literally has exposed themselves as like not even knowing what they're talking about.
Right. Yeah.
I think they got the number of rings wrong at one point. And
what?
Yeah, they tweeted something out where they got the number of rings wrong. Like,
which
is like the opening. It's like the opening of the book.
Yeah, I mean,
the Fellowship.
Yeah, let's. Oh God.
Might want to check that before you tweet that.
So I will occasionally misspeak or say something out of turn, right?
Yeah, we're human. We do that. Yeah.
But when it comes to like the like easily verifiable stuff, I mean, and you're trying to come across as an authority, I don't know. Yeah. I'm happy to say, you know what, I don't know, or I don't quite remember. I think this is what I heard. I'm happy to say that, right? But like start your sentence with that before you make definitive statements, because this is bad. That's bad, man.
Yeah. So that really.
How many Nazgul were there? Well, let me look it up, because I don't remember, but there were several. It's like yeah, and it was a number. I mean, they were clearly defined. I mean, it's like so frustrating.
But I've seen what happens with these franchises, these IPs, whatever you want to call them, these books that are timeless. Yeah. I've seen what they've done to Star Wars. I've seen what they've done to Marvel. I've seen what they've done to DC, and I don't want them to be doing this to the Lord of the Rings. So I really hope that Amazon does stay truthful to Tolkien's works. But I'm really apprehensive about it, and I don't have a good feeling about it.
So from one amazing property to another, this book's been handed down to me forever, right? This is another amazing thing that's currently being destroyed by Apple.
Oh, The Foundation. Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, this is the man right here.
So I haven't read the books. I haven't read Isaac Asimov's books, but amazing. I watched the first 2 episodes of the show. And like I immediately knew there's like tons of race swaps, there's gender swaps. There's like, you could just tell that like there's so much modern stuff in it. Like there's no way that this is true to the vision of the book. And then I went on Wikipedia and I was like, oh, confirmed. Suspicions confirmed.
It's broken because there isn't one character that carries on throughout all of these stories that are, that you're getting that perspective. That's not the way it's written.
Right.
It's written over generations, hundreds of years. I mean, it's not like, longer than that actually. And so like the idea is to like, it doesn't matter. It's just, it is nowhere close to what Asimov put together, and that's one of those things that frustrates me. The preservation of knowledge and all the other things. Creating your own, Library of Alexandria and trying to prevent, catastrophes, saving a certain amount of humanity. All these things like play into the Foundation. I mean, and it's like, and then I'm sorry, I saw the costuming and I'm like, are you flipping kidding me? I was like, come on,
with the emperors. Or
Yeah,
just
I'm like
yeah, like
everything in it. I'm like, oh, give me strength, and
the
you know,
visuals are pretty though. I will say
yeah,
like the shots of
sure. Well,
space
yeah.
and
I
stuff.
mean, are you
That's
kidding?
about it.
Apple? Yeah, I mean, Final Cut Pro is one of the best editing software suites you can possibly use. But anyway, I'm not.
That's what I use.
Yeah,
For my videos.
I don't anymore. Dude, I am stepping off of Apple products now. Let me tell you.
It's the only Apple thing I use.
Okay. All
I
right.
only like right now I have a Intel Core Dell, I think, laptop, but
right.
I have a Mac that I use for
Yeah.
the editing. That's it.
Yeah,
I've never been an Apple guy. I've never been an Apple guy.
Yeah.
My phone is a Samsung. I've never had an iPhone. I have my work gives me an iPhone, but I don't use it.
Oh boy.
But that's it. So, but yeah, no, I'm not a big Apple fan either. But I did watch those first 2 episodes. From what I understand, they also just skipped the first book basically, where the guy who comes up with the idea for the foundation is fleeing the government and goes to the city and is introduced to all these different types of different people that live in the city, and they just completely skip that.
I'm tempted to reread the books so that I can do an in-depth video at the end of this first season, and and kind of go, these are all the problems with what was just done. And because I think that it would be interesting, and again, my memory isn't what it used to be. When you get to be my age, John, your hard drive's only so big, and stuff starts to fall out of the hard drive. So.
I feel like I already have that problem.
Wait till you get older, dude. It gets worse.
But even I would even the storytelling. I felt in this, especially in this, I wasn't faithfully watching the second episode.
Right.
I was on my phone a little bit, or I was just distracted. So it was kind of playing there on the background for the most part. But I felt like the way they had been the way that story is being narrated is by the protagonist who is supposed to be connecting the story or whatever.
Yeah.
And it took away from I felt that it took away from that that shock moment. That moment is supposed to be shocking, but she'd already the way it was narrated, you already knew there's nothing really gonna hurt. They're sending her off, but she's not she's coming back. She's gonna come back somehow. She's I met all these people. They're the heroes. It's okay, well, thanks for spoiling.
Yeah, they screwed it all up. Yeah, the way they have to tell the story is just one of those things, and I don't have to like it, and that's the thing. If there are people that enjoy it, so be it. This just was the wrong way to go about it, and they're gonna break some other stuff. I mean, Foundation's just the beginning, and it's dumb, dude. And
just wait for Wheel of Time, man. Wait for Wheel of Time.
Oh no, I'm not even a fan of that stuff. But you know what? I don't want to.
They're going to if my scoop is right, they're literally maiming one of the main characters in the first episode.
Did you get the news? I can't break the story here because somebody else is going to break it. I can't talk about it.
Okay.
I gave somebody a story today, and I can't do it to them. So
you can DM me, and I'll wait for them to break it, and I can.
I'll give it. Yeah, I'll give
or
it.
Just to you. Send me the link or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's out there in the world. It's just nobody's grabbed it yet. So, but it's one of those things. And then
what they're gonna do to Parent Ibarra is absolutely heinous. It's absolutely heinous.
Gosh, what's the one that D&D are about to ruin?
Dungeons and Dragons is about to ruin?
No. No, Dave and Dave. Big Head Little Head are about to ruin something for another.
I didn't even know they were still doing anything.
Yeah, they're doing some kind of.
I think they get. I'll be honest. I think they get a lot of flack, and they don't deserve it. And because you watch that first season, it's literally straight from the book.
Right.
I do think that they made mistakes by not including the stuff from the book. They should have kept with the books. And when they ran out of source material, they did the best that they could with what they had.
So that would put Bombadil in the story, right? You'd have Lady Stoneheart. You'd have
which I actually thought that was an interesting subplot personally. I don't know.
Yeah. well, there's a lot of weird stuff going on there, man. But they couldn't. I don't think they felt like they could put it all in because it was so epic. And then once they got far away from it, then they had to start crafting stuff of their own to put into the book. So I think you're right. But at the same time, ultimately they're to blame for what we got, especially at the end, which was far from satisfying. And not the way George is going to end it, according to him. So not that we'll ever know.
Well, he's been changing his mind because I remember those initial interviews that he did. He was like, he was like, it's not going to be that much different. I'm going to be telling it a little bit, but like,
and then he's like, because the backlash has been so extraordinary. It's just,
he's never going to finish it anyway.
He's not. I keep telling Scott, Sporkin News, and he's like sad. I make Scott sad a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that would make you sad though. Like, I don't know. I mean, do you really want to just like have him double down on like the horrible ending of the show?
What's that song? But one of the lines in this song is "Make up your own ending."
Okay, yeah,
that's the best way.
Pretty much what they did. I just don't understand how like you could like. So if we were just, I'll just talk. I've said this probably a bunch of times before. But like, I really felt like it went off the wheels with the like. I already thought it had gone off the wheels before this, but like it should. Everyone should have seen like the writing on the wall and how bad that season was going to be at the Battle of Winterfell, when literally all of the main characters like survived, no one died, and like this is Game of Thrones where people die all the time, and like the show literally became popular. I think a lot of it was from people like video recording their family being like,
dude, the red wedding was just like that moment was like everybody in the world just went, what the F did I just see? It was incredible, right? And I'm like, oh my, but no, I mean,
even the end of the first season where you're like, there's no way they're gonna kill Ned, like he's the protagonist, and head gets slopped off. So
that was one of the, by the way, that they almost lost me. I'm tired of Sean Bean getting killed and stuff. I'm done. I mean, he never gets to make it to the second thing. That just makes me
I mean, I can watch him die all the time as Boromir because I think that's such a great, really powerful scene. That's true. He literally goes from trying to commit this like great evil, stealing the ring from Frodo, and like literally like assaulting him. Frodo escapes by using the ring. He realizes just what he did and how horrible it was. Like the acting is so great. He like drops to his knees and he's like, hands are kind of like up on his face, and he's just like, what is going on with me? And he just sees the evil of the ring at that point. And then when the other two hobbits are in trouble, Merry and Pippin, he's the one who goes to defend them, because no one else was there at the time. So he's the one who's defending him. He takes all those arrows, keeps defending them, and then he's about to, like. So I'm talking about the movie, obviously, but then he's about to like get executed by the one Uruk-hai. Aragorn comes in, like kills that guy, and then you have this moment between Boromir and Aragorn there, and Boromir like confesses to Aragorn like what he tried to do. He tried to take the ring, and you have that contrast with Aragorn. He's like, he was able to resist it. He didn't take it. He's like, that's for you, Frodo. But Boromir realizes what he did wrong, asks for forgiveness, and then they talk about like, I will ride with you any day. And he recognized Aragorn as like the king of humanity at that point. And I just thought that's so good. That's such a great scene. And like Boromir is like redeemed. It's like such a redemption in that scene. I think it's almost better than Return of the Jedi with Luke and Vader. I do think that's such a powerful redemption scene. I think it might be better than Return of the Jedi. It's hard, but it's such a good redemption scene.
It was really good. I did enjoy it. And again, I mean, but Sean Bean's one of those great, just amazingly great actors. I always feel like he just gets wasted too often. But that's my opinion.
I think Game of Thrones doesn't become what it is without Sean Bean in the first season, honestly.
No, absolutely. 1000%. You nailed it. Yeah, absolutely nailed it.
He literally made that, like, he is the protagonist of the, like, obviously that's the way his character is written too, but like he really delivered a fantastic Ned Stark, like absolutely fantastic Ned Stark in that first season. And that's like one of the things I watched first, and then I went back and read the book. I actually went and bought the book, and I was like, wow, this is literally the exact same as the show. Like, but all right, I got a $5 super chat from Comrade Roof Korean the Based. Real life Bond villain types have a saying going around: by 2030, you'll own nothing and be happy. How bleak will Hollywood comic writers' stories be? I don't know if like bleak is the right word. I feel like they're just going to be. I feel like we're going to get a lot of like nihilism.
That's all there is. Yeah, I mean, and they're wrong. I mean, there are certain of us that are going to do everything we can to defend the freedoms, especially the private property rights and everything else that goes along with the world. But I don't know that I don't know that the light of freedom will go out everywhere in the world. But wow, we're very black pilled right now. Holy cow.
It's the black pill stream. But no, but I think what you're saying is true. That's why I see the black pill stream as like as an irony, I guess, because there is that people aren't going to stop fighting. It's human nature to reject this evil. Tyranny, tyranny and evil. It's our nature to reject it, and people will rise up. Soviet Empire fell. They didn't think that the Soviets were going to fall as quick as they did, and they have. And that's fallen. Just look at the countries that have kind of come out of that. I feel like Poland and Hungary look like they're stronger than ever. I think looks like Brazil has also had kind of a resurgence after all of the kind of socialist tyranny that they've had.
Especially after the last Olympics that they hosted, they had to rise up against some really bad government there. Ooh.
Yeah.
All those white elephants that got built on their dime, not great.
Yeah, so there's lots to be hopeful for. I think that I don't know. I was watching. This is just to get into some of the. I don't even. It's not really even politics. It's just like it's medical stuff, which is crazy. They've politicized healthcare. But I was watching Bradley Beal from the Wizards, and he was like asking questions at a presser, and it was just like, so why do I need to get the vaccine if you can still get the disease from it and still like go to the hospital? Like, what's the point? He was like, y'all can like you all are vaccinated in here, right? Like y'all can still get it. Like, why do I need to get it?
Yeah.
I was just like, boom.
Well, but immediately here's what happened, and we have to be very careful. Mama Susan changed the rules on YouTube the minute that happened and started to get traction. They're banning anything that says anything about any kind of stick that you can get shoved in you. Right? Anyone, not just this one, but any of them. Even the ones that are have like the science behind them that show that there's some causation to certain things, but you're not allowed to talk about them anymore. And I'm not going to burn up your channel for it. So I'm going to be careful, but
yeah, I saw something happen to Mead. I don't know what happened. Do you know what happened there?
I was on the stream when that got taken down. We were doing karaoke. It didn't have anything to do with that.
Okay. So it's
now that was a for lack of a better term, a false flag. I'm almost 100% certain of. Yeah, we can talk about why, but it's it behind the scenes. But it's one of those things, and it's just. But no, Comrade Roof Korean, the base. By the way, Roof Korean's awesome. Love Roof Korean. Yeah. Great dude. But the problem is that I don't. There are already 2 states right now looking to secede. I mean, legitimately, like peace out. You're going to see more states following that path, and it doesn't matter what color the state is. They're going to realize that the yoke that's trying to be put upon them, and not want to suffer under the boot heel of tyranny. And that's kind of what's being forced upon.
Sarah Silverman is endorsing secession.
Yeah, but that was like not like the way that like she doesn't understand how that's going to work, right?
Oh, I don't. No, I don't think she does. But the fact that she's actually even talking about that is just kind of mind blowing, given the fact that she's such a partisan figure.
I'm like, your water in that state comes from other states, and they can like turn the supply off anytime they want to.
Yeah, you're talking about California and Nevada.
Yeah. It's like, somebody decides, you don't get water anymore. Good luck growing crops. And then how do you feed people? Where's that going to come from? You're going to eat bugs.
That's one of the things that people forget. California is like a huge agriculture state, but like all of their water comes from like the Hoover Dam,
the Colorado River. Yeah. And then you have, you have power. California gets a lot of its power from other states because they shut down all of their own nuclear operations, which was dumb. You have an amazing nuclear.
Sorry to interject here, but they also I have a buddy who works in the oil industry, and California has different pipelines than pretty much everywhere else in the country because they have a different standard for petroleum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they also have, exactly. They also have their own oil derricks that still operate in Hollywood and around Los Angeles. I don't know if have you ever seen them? It's really weird.
No, I have not.
You're driving through Beverly Hills, and all of a sudden you'll turn a corner and there's an oil derrick. I swear to God, it's the weirdest thing you've ever seen in life. But that, and it so it gets oil out of the well. But I mean, of course, that's where the La Brea tar pits are in the Los Angeles area. You have oil. And so it's, but they aren't allowed to use oil. So a lot of things will have to change if you want to continue to operate as normal. If you cut yourself off, if California and Oregon and Washington decide to be the left coast, right, and the 5 or 6 states on the right side decide to be, the right coast, all the other states in the middle, problem. Now you have to negotiate transportation, utility, all the other stuff you get from all the other states, including food.
Yeah.
So, all the other states are capable of, collaborating to create a country that will still remain functional and probably a currency that they could actually move away from a fiat and go to actually something physical that's real, or fully transition to digital currencies that are not governed, not centralized, which a lot of governments are now starting to lean into.
We saw that. I think I saw something that El Salvador has now made Bitcoin like legal tender down there. They're using that as a currency. Definitely. I mean, China has banned crypto because they don't, from what I understand,
control it.
Because they can't control it, and it is so decentralized.
Yeah, and it was hurting them because the Bitcoin farmers were essentially their islands unto themselves that they could not control, and they couldn't enforce their version of ESG called social credit, which for us it's going to be ESG and some other stuff that will try to manipulate and control you. So yeah, I mean, you really don't want to get me started on this, John. It starts to get into a really big hole.
Well, it does sound like you have a lot of ideas that you could sell to Hollywood for some grim, dark, bleak stories that
Roof Korean's in the same. He travels in the same sphere I do when it comes to this stuff. So it's like, okay, but like I said, I mean, if you were to divide up the country, it wouldn't go the way you want it to go, And it's ironic that the states that want to break away are the ones with the most severe problems and gun control. So if it's like, okay, well, see ya. I mean,
yeah, we'll see. I do think that it'll be really interesting come November, because obviously I'm in Virginia, so I have elections every year. Because we have our our governor election is this year, and then we vote on odd years all the time.
That's awesome.
So I think it's just us in New Jersey are the only ones that do like odd year elections. So literally,
smart. Which is smart. You stay because everybody stays invested in government, right?
Right. Well. The problem with our state is that Northern Virginia just crushes everything. Like you literally look at it and there's like 5 blue counties at the top, and the rest of the state is red, and then maybe like Charlottesville and like maybe
that's really what they tried to prevent, right? The founding fathers went about the representative republic in a way that would make it so that you wouldn't have the oppression of the majority in centralized locations. Yeah, the problem is that a lot of people over time redrew districts and some other stuff, and obviously the accumulation of humans in cities, the urbanization of things changed. And it's ultimately, you know, if you start giving people stuff, you know, they want to just continue to be given stuff. It was one of the worst things that could ever be done. You know, discouraging industry is an issue. And again,
it's self-denial. It's a lack of self-denial.
And self-sufficiency. But you know, I mean, people, that's the other problem. No, I guarantee you in urban environments, there's only a handful of people who actually know how to grow a plant.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've done like gardening and stuff. I'm not going to say that I'm successful at it. I was able to grow peppers really well, but my watermelons and my my cantaloupe did not do well. Tried my hand at corn a little bit. I think we just didn't plant enough corn, because you usually have to have enough corn so they cross pollinate with each other, and I just don't think we did enough. Yeah. But I did a good job with the peppers and the tomatoes. Tomatoes are pretty easy.
Pipe cleaners, or Q-tips if you need to cross pollinate plants.
Okay.
Just brush. Like if you want to hand do it. When you work in a hydroponic system, like if you're doing a hydroponic system with all those kinds of plants that need to cross pollinate like that, that's how you go about it. If you don't have black soldier flies, if you have black soldier flies, solves the problem. They'll help do that. There's a lot of insects, good insects that you can, like, you know, encourage. That'll help with that. If you have your own compost pile, you're already going to be producing black soldier flies, which will help. There's again, this you can tell these are the kinds of things I've looked into, because you know, you never want to be unprepared, and it's one of the reasons why I tell people, you know, you can prep all you want to, but after you're done with what you've prepped for, you still need to make your own food. So make sure you have seeds of every kind that you need to sustain life. Corn's a good option, but potatoes are the best if you don't want to die. So, you know, you need tomatoes for lycopene and some other essential things that you need in your system. You know, those types of vegetables that are actually easy to grow.
Potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes are your friend, even though, you know, the potato famine was, you know, it's old.
That was Lord of the Rings reference. Sorry.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, no, and you also have potatoes. Yeah, you also have, well, look at The Martian, right? The Martian is an example of how not to die. So there you go.
I just watched the first half of the Two Towers, and he says like quote at the end, some nice golden crispy taters, or I'm just like, yes, give me some those French fries.
I need some Yukon Golds. Yeah, you want to get yourself some Yukon Golds, some, you know, regular Idaho russets. You know what? You have a nice blend of everything. That also helps you not have problems. I mean, there's always, look, it's easy to do. You can grow a garden that will sustain a family in not a lot of square footage if you do it right. And if you go hydroponic, even more, you can put a yield for a neighborhood together in, you know, less than, you know, 400 to 800 square feet. It's depending upon the size of the neighborhood.
All right. We got another super chat from Comrade Roof Cree in the base. CC, funny aside, Magic the Gathering card, the Goblin King, pokes fun at Tolkien's begatting, instead having the current Goblin King doing in the previous king. So you got some Greek mythology there overriding Tolkien.
Little Magic the Gathering card stuff. Dude. I mean, like I said, I was. Of course, I still have some of those cards, right? The stupid spendy cards now that nobody's, you know, you don't want to take out of the sleeve because it's like scary to do so. But I've got, hey, you want to play with my Jester's Cap? No, I'm going to play a proxy. Okay, I'm going to show you my Jester's Cap, and I will play with this proxy card because you don't get to touch this. So like,
is that how it works now?
In unlimited games, I don't ever touch the real cards. Like right now, my stepdad in the basement at their house, in his basement, he has cards mounted on the wall. That's how valuable some of these cards are.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it framed.
We got a $5 Australian super chat from Ravul Arvita. The Silmarillion is the greatest piece of fiction ever written.
Is it morning over there? It must be morning over there.
It is. It's I think they're like, depending on where in Australia, I think it's like 12 or 13 hours, maybe 11.
Well, yeah, but isn't there like a half-hour time? They're bizarre.
Yeah.
They're Berserker Circus. There's the only place in the world I think that divided up in a half hour. I'm like, what the flip are you doing? Round that shit out. Hazel Pete.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna like deny that like there isn't like great stuff in the Silmarillion. I just had really trouble getting through. Like,
It's hard, dude. It's seriously, it's the Bible. It's like you go, oh, Old Testament, no, thank you. It's like
I think once you get past like a certain point, you do get like the stuff with like Melkor.
It gives you the history. Yeah, it gives you the history.
You get some of that stuff. So you just gotta like get slugged through it.
I tried multiple times. I got to a certain point. And I'm like, this is fine and all, but I'm just gonna go read these other things that I can like read their story.
Yeah.
Look, and here's the cool thing: you can hand The Hobbit to an 8-year-old kid, and they're gonna get a lot out of that book.
Yeah, I remember that was so. I obviously went to Catholic school K through 8, and I think I was assigned 4th grade, so that's around 8 years old, I believe, to read The Hobbit. And I read The Hobbit. I actually haven't. I have the Lord of the Rings books here on my shelf. I actually haven't like fully read them. I have read The Hobbit though. I don't know how they turned that into 3 movies. That's a feat of...
they made him turn it into 3 movies. That's a whole other story. Yeah, we need Tom on here to break that down. We've had this discussion around that film, how it ended up being 3 movies many times. I feel like, but you know what? Here's the thing: they had such a great success with Peter Jackson's adaptations, and a lot of it was a makeup. So we someday we'll talk about just how hosed. I was going to use a different term. Peter Jackson got on the first 3 films. We'll talk about
when you mean hosed, do you mean like drinking?
No, not paid.
Oh, not paid. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't sure. Like I wasn't sure. Like he got hosed. No. Like he just putting the bottle back. But okay, I get what you're saying now.
Billions. No, it was like so much stuff he didn't, and so he had to sue him. I don't know if you know that he sued.
Oh, I did not know
the
that.
Studio. Yeah, it was one of the first major revelations, of the most major revelation for how a studio can hose over the people they're working with financially. I did a video on it, I think, way back early on in my YouTube career. There's the words. Yeah.
Here we go.
You found it. You found it.
Matthew Bellany, our good friend who runs the newsletter.
Hey, did you subscribe to Bellany?
Yeah, I do get his emails now.
Oh man,
but they just kind of like spam me with whatever their website is now.
Oh, Puck Media.
Yeah, Puck.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of really good stuff there. He's this is a legit dude. I mean, he's been doing it for a long time. So.
He's a lawyer, so they're usually pretty
well.
Usually,
he was
not all lawyers, but
I think he wanted to be an agent. I'm not going to say that out loud though.
I think he was an entertainment lawyer. Yeah, so that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, he wanted to be an agent.
But yeah, so here we go. Fans of Tolkien's The Hobbit can toast the news that Peter Jackson and Guillermo del Toro can move forward on 2 planned movies. Blah blah blah. I don't know if this is Jackson suing. This looks like it's a Lord of the Rings estate sued them. All win. Tuesday's settlement of the Lord of the Rings litigation. So this looks like the estate sued. All right, here you go. Jackson's Wingnut Film sued in 2005, claiming New Line wouldn't even let him audit, and the case eventually settled. So there you go. It's there.
Yeah. And Shay, I mean, it was bad news, and it was like a lot of money. And Shay was trying to claim that it didn't make a profit, kind of. Like it made a little bit of a profit, those films. Yeah, you can look it up. It had to have. Right, but we're talking movie math, John.
Right.
Yeah.
I gotta look this. I'm gonna look up.
You're like, culture's full of shit. No, I'm not.
No, I'm not thinking that at all. I'm just like I just want to see what the numbers are.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I love your hat.
The movie.
I think I've told you that before.
Yeah, my Caps hat.
Yeah.
It made 891,000 at the global.
No, 891 million.
Million, yeah. Sorry. What
that was just fellowship, but profit. Remember, it's the word profit.
Right. What was the production was only 93. At least that's what they're saying.
Yeah, you're right. 9.6 times the production budget, which means that it made a profit of 3 times. 3 times.
Yeah, that's a lot of profit.
Easily.
All right, let me see here. We can pull. I'll just do the verses here, and then that's.
Oh yeah, I do comparisons all the time. I'm a freak show, dude. Do you realize how many? I have charts and.
I love this thing. This
I'm
is
not
great.
I'm not as bad as Odin, but it drives me crazy because I'm like, okay, this didn't make sense. And then when you start to see the M&P for some of the stuff, like occasionally that'll leak out, and then you start to add those figures up, and you're looking that, oh my gosh, it's now 2 times the budget of productions in many of these blockbuster tentpoles, and I think we're going to start looking at 3. I'm like, holy cow! It's like, oh my gosh.
Something that I noticed here just looking at this is that box office grosses went up for each film. I thought that never happened. That's why Star Wars is so good, you know?
No. There's a new study that comes along with that. Here, so compare that to this is why I like talking to you, John, because now we can talk about this stuff. You have now look at what the price increases were year to year for these film releases for ticket stubs, because believe it or not, the audience has been doing this and the ticket prices have been doing this.
Right.
So it's this weird thing, man. It's weird, dude. Sorry.
I mean, I don't know. These were so close.
Yeah, but
together.
For many of the other films, like you can look at the studies and it's like it's insane.
Well, the Star Wars one is so obvious. Like I can pull that up here. Like just look at Rise of Skywalker is so clearly that people did not go to see this film compared to Force Awakens or even The Last Jedi.
Yeah, Rinse of Soybeans was terrible.
So let me get the
look at where the projection was. Look at how big that cone is and where it fell. I was like, oh no. I always tell people, I'm like, look, if you're in the middle, you're in the middle. Shang-Chi had a very wide cone. And it's like, oh, it's doing great. It beat its projection. I'm like, wait. Oh, it fell right in the middle.
It's like I did an article yesterday. It's still arguably the second worst grossing Marvel film of all time. Because if you actually factor in the 60 million from Disney Plus Premier Access that Disney claims they got on Black Widow, that blows Shang-Chi out of the water. And then the other ones you factor in inflation and they're all higher. The only one that it beats is Hulk, is the Incredible Hulk.
The claim in the suit, and I'm gonna give you a range because I don't remember the exact number. The claim in the suit, or excuse me, the arbitration with Disney and
Scarlett,
was like 125 to I want to say 150 million, somewhere in there was what they said it made on Disney Plus.
Well, right, 60 million was just the opening weekend. They never.
But I'm saying overall when they arbitration. So essentially they're saying that it made more money on successive periods of time, and they were giving her full credit for that, which she was aware of. They're shutting that down so hard that it's going to make Brian Lord took his name out of the paper by buying ICM. And Ari Emanuel was like, that doesn't mean nothing. I mean, ICM was already a down property. We've already gained exponentially organically. You know, I'm not going to go out. He actually said, I'm not going to go buy UTA. Right? Because that was obviously the obvious move for him. He already said, I'm not going to do that. And not even that UTA is even for sale.
Right.
I'm like, dude, Ari is like the next level. I mean, we'll see. But Brian Lord, I don't know. I think he overplayed it, but he was trying to seem like the most talent-friendly guy on the block. And basically, he shut his doors to everybody at CAA. Or I should say, Disney has now shut their doors to everybody at CAA. They may actually tell talent, this could happen, kids. If this is a real thing, and it's not just speculative although it doesn't seem like it, by certain players here, including Cameron Pasha, although he's been a seer lately when it comes to this stuff. If it's not speculative and that's legitimately happened, you may see Disney telling talent to walk away from CAA, and they'll do business with them. You could actually see that happen.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I feel like that's just the way Disney plays now.
But and Warner's going to start playing that way too, because they've settled like almost $200 million worth of deals behind the scenes,
Patty Jenkins and stuff like that.
But they're not going to do that. they're not going to do that forever. They're going to they're going to do the same thing Disney's doing. We are not going to give you this massive back end because it kills our profit, right?
Right.
We're going to give you scaled tier bonuses based on this, and that's it. That's it. And you're going to see a lot less talent friendly deals across the board. Doesn't matter what agency or who your manager is. Doesn't matter who your agent or manager is. You are going to see less talent friendly deals. And now you're going to see a bigger bite. Gosh, I got way off on a tangent. I'm sorry, John, but you're going to see a bigger bite because the IATSE is going to go on strike, and the only people in the production field right now that are safe from that strike are going to be people who've negotiated separate deals, like HBO, like itself, like that entity, HBO,
right.
not Warner. HBO
right.
will be the entity that can do that. You'll have a couple of the other pay channels. Everybody else is going to be isolated from this, and you have 11 of the major locals that are like the hairdressers, the light guys, the grips. They're all going to be going on strike. They're voting for that between October 1 and October 3. So we'll know next week.
So just for the audience sake, who are the IATC?
Oh,
so
that's the labor. It's the labor union.
Stuff?
Yeah,
okay.
it's the behind the camera people who make everything run. Hairdressers, makeup, the grips, the lighting, all the stuff that comes in.
Set design and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Certain
carpenters
services,
and stuff.
Yeah, sound. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's like everybody, all these locals, and they're going nationwide with the strike. It's not just going to affect Hollywood; it's going to affect productions in Atlanta. It's going to affect Florida productions, New York. It's good. Anybody who's got members in this union that are doing union gigs, if they strike, they walk out next week. That brings everything to a halt. Television, film, done. So again, there's some small carved out deals that aren't affected by this, but that's it, man. Right. And that would be a catastrophe. Now they're in the midst of this last second negotiation thing, which could save it. But I've been reporting on this for 3 weeks now because I saw this train coming. I'm like, this is not going to stop. It's just like the writer's strike. Remember, we all saw that thing coming a mile away.
Yeah.
And SAG-AFTRA has said they're in solidarity with IATSE. And they're also looking at, and SAG-AFTRA is also looking with this merger of ICM and CAA skeptically, because they realize that representation for above the line and below the line talent will dwindle. I mean, you'll have more people with fewer agents being less effective at representing your interest and contacting you. That's the problem with these agencies. When you get giant like that, you're handling 40 people, you're representing 40, you're not representing 5. It's the whole premise behind Jerry Maguire, right? The smaller agency is better for the individual talent. Right. So anyway, I can go on about this crap forever. Sorry. I apologize.
But yeah, so this is kind of shocking. I didn't even realize this. They pulled The Rise of Skywalker out of theaters at day 91. It didn't even make it. It didn't even make it to 125 or 122. So they cut it out a month early.
And it just barely crossed $1 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, barely.
Yeah, on the international, if you where is it here? Yeah, right here, 1.072.
Yep.
Right there.
Yeah.
But then even if you look at the so I think one of the other things that's interesting to look at with this is like the video sales. 67 for Rise of Skywalker. If you go back and look at Force Awakens, it's like 191 million to 67 million. That just shows that no one was interested in even buying the film after release. People had completely noped out and is
again okay. So I mean, there's more years between the date and the other date. So I mean, I would be trying to look at what that would mean on a chart, because I would be like, okay, what did this actually mean?
All right, so you want to
time that passed? No, it's okay. I don't care.
Inflation?
No, not inflation, but actually, okay. So we
for the cost of a
2015.
Right.
Yeah, well, that too. But 2015 is more years away than 2019 is. Right. So, of course, you're going to have more period of time to sell more units. So I think the difference is substantial, that like that many that would be that big? No, but I'm just saying is that I that's
so
where
their
I
numbers only go through 2017 now.
yeah,
So,
but I always like to compare like to like. Is that's just me.
so
I'm weird.
So I mean, this only goes to 2020, November
Right.
2020.
Yeah. But I'm just saying,
This,
if we could look at a year out from from the year after when the video sales started to a year later, and then look at what happened with the most recent film and the rinse of soybeans in a year later, I think that'd be a more fair comparison. But that's just
I would wager that it's probably looks even worse.
I probably. To be honest with you, I mean, there was a year of people being bored, so maybe they just on a whim bought it digitally or something. Who knows? Or whether they picked it up or ordered it from Amazon or freaking who knows, at Walmart, whatnot. I don't know. Anyway, I can derail any conversation, John. We've already gone 2 hours. I feel bad. I'm terrible.
We got another $5 super chat from Comrade Roof Green the Base. He says, if HBO paid for the ending to Game of Thrones that they wrote, produced, shot, wouldn't there be huge legal repercussions if George R. Martin changed it as a reaction to fans' dislike?
Nope.
I don't know. I feel like that if there was a contract that said that you had to like give us the legit ending, I don't know. You don't think so?
Maybe. No, I don't think so. I mean, there's been lots of things that were said along the way by various parties involved that, they kind of ran their own way with stuff and did their own thing. And so I'm not that concerned about it. I would have to look at the agreement, and I would have to ask somebody for that. So there it is. And I don't know that I would even get it. So
I don't. I tend to agree with you. I was just kind of like putting it out there.
Could it be? Could it be? No. I mean, again, as an author, you have the editorial license to change anything about anything that you do at any point in time. I mean, we've seen that already. I mean, Alan Moore and some others, along the way. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, Alan Moore's kind of been hosed too, right? With Watchmen and how they keep resurrecting that property to ensure that they continue to maintain the rights.
But that's only going to last for so long. I mean, again, he can file to reclaim those rights in the period of time. I just don't think he'll live long enough to do it. It'll be his estate trying to reclaim his rights.
Yeah. So what? Speaking of estates trying to reclaim rights, what do you make of the Ditko estate and a couple of these other Marvel creators?
They look, they're going to settle with this guy. Spider-Man is the most important property that Marvel controls. It's like saying, okay, Superman and Batman. I mean, they're gonna settle with the most important thing. You guys are writing like crazy, John. I'm loving it, man. Loving it. Spencer did a good job with this one. Yeah,
he covered both stories because he covered the Ditko estate. And THR came out with this like the next day, and it's like, okay,
it did. It was amazing. And the Stan Lee stuff still. I mean, suing the Stan Lee estate, bad plan, Disney. Does that the optics? Disney's really concerned about optics. That one looks bad. And
I will say the one thing I feel like that has kind of been. It's been on the DL because there's all the other people suing too. So like the Stan Lee, it's not like I don't feel like it's been like high level. Even the Hollywood Reporter, I don't think ran with.
If I were a bigger channel, it'd be bigger. But of course, that's also going back a couple weeks. Most people didn't realize the Stan Lee thing happened first. But it's just,
right.
Yeah, and it's
even here. It doesn't say that there's like their headline isn't like suing Stan Lee estate, right? Yeah. It says here.
Yeah.
In the second sentence.
And here's the thing.
That's what I was referring to.
Oh, no. It's just I feel, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, it does. Yeah. I don't know, man. If Ditko wins, that'd be so great. I mean, honestly, Sony's in a bad place, of course. But you realize they're going to write him a giant check. This happened already before. This isn't the first time.
We saw it with Siegel and Schuster, I believe.
Yeah, right? The Superman deal. Yeah.
Kirby, I think Kirby's estate did try something and they lost, if I remember.
Yeah, but it depends on how the contract was written. And this is something Tom and I were talking about, whether or not it was work for hire or whether or not it was, not. So
I think that's the Ditko thing will be huge because like those are two. If you look at the U.S. Copyright Office, clearly differentiates the two on on that.
Yeah,
Like,
they own the characters. Yeah, it's same. It's the same thing. I mean, the run for it's like Hal Jordan versus brains melting Green Lantern.
with Alan Scott.
Yeah, I mean, those are clearly written differently by different creators, so it depends on how those contracts were written as to who owns that version of what character. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I know Chuck Dixon is always saying that like they're all work for hire stuff. He does get like kickbacks from DC. I was reading that like Marvel is basically not giving any kickbacks for their international stuff, and DC isn't doing anything for the international stuff either. So there might be even more
copyright. Yeah, international copyright works different. Yeah,
right. So, but there might be you might be even seeing other freelancers coming out because they're not getting royalties for their books that are being published in Europe.
Alan Dean Foster. I mean, let's just talk about the fact that everybody's going to walk away from whatever contract they can. So, and again, Marvel's a Disney property. They've already shown their hand that they don't care about the creators. And obligating, even being obligated to deals that were previously written by the former company that they acquired, which they are supposed to be legally bound to hold and maintain. I mean, that's part of the contractual relationship. And if a judge is paying close attention, this could go badly for Disney in a lot of different ways if this actually made it to the courtroom and wasn't settled, but it's going to get settled. Both of them.
I think you're right. I do think the optics are turning, like you were saying, the optics are turning against Disney. We had Ed Brubaker come out and do the he in his newsletter he was complaining about he literally like got nothing for Marvel just like basically kind of ripping off his stories that they kind of own now, and like they just, what do you get? You just get like a thank you at the end in
the credits.
In the credits, and they're not even doing the stories as good as he did. So I guess there's some you can take some solace. Comrade Roof creating the base for another $5 super says someone with balls should title an article Disney not satisfied with how they treated Stan Lee while he was alive, sues his estate to screw him in death. That's a really long headline.
I think John, if anybody could write this headline, it would be you.
I mean, I think some of my headlines are kind of ballsy, but I don't know about that direction.
That's not clickbaity at all, by the way.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's a really long headline.
Well, you could
we do long headlines though.
Okay, how about this? You break it up, main headline, right? And then the submast. So it'd be like, Disney not satisfied with how they treated Stan Lee in life. Sues his estate to screw him in death.
So Hollywood Reporter has that. Like they have that with their whatever they're using. We don't have that on our end. I mean,
no. You just repeat the same line 4 times from the headline. Yeah. I'm just teasing you. It's an SEO thing. That's why I just tease you, man.
Yeah. I'm trying to look. So Spencer is the one who does all the long headlines. So here's a long headline example.
Dude, Spencer's so great. Oh God, dang! Oh my!
China has new gaming rules for minors, including ban of under.
Lord, I apologize. I used your name in vain. I apologize. That was not. I just dang.
But yeah, so that's pretty long headline. Then if you go back here, so that was the one that you did before. It's pretty long.
Dude, okay, you saw they settled.
We got some long. Yeah, I saw that. But
okay, all right. Yeah, you guys reported it. I'm like, that was this morning. Yeah,
there's still some. They still have a couple other lawsuits that they're facing. Like
3 others. 3.
There's a California one. 3 more. Yeah, there's another California state one.
Yeah, 2 Californias and one and another federal. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's I think that there's an employee union that's doing something.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other ball game. But yeah, I'm just saying from the state and the federal government, it's like gosh, what was he? Do you guys watch my show in the morning? Is that where you're getting your story ideas? I'm just teasing.
I do try and tune in. It's usually in the
Uh,
afternoon is when I kind of have a break. But
no, I'm just teasing you, brother. It's like because I'm like, holy cow! It's like all of a sudden there's all these. I wish I had these stories before I started.
yeah, I mean, so like a lot of times, if Spencer's doing it, the story has been assigned the day before.
Oh, good.
And then I'll edit it in the morning, usually first thing, and then he gets it up. Same with JB and Josh. Those stories are assigned. Like this story, I assigned him yesterday, and then he got it up. Spencer edited that tonight, I guess, and then this one as well. For me, if I wrote something, I wrote it that day. Like I wrote it.
You're like, I gotta whip this out.
I usually I try and edit my own stuff. That's why you probably see more errors in mine, because
you do fine, man. I really, honestly, I just like to, I don't get to see you often enough to, joke with you. So,
all right. So this one, I can't believe this did not blow up. I thought this would have gone huge, but no one seems to have. I mean, aside from this Marvel Studios spoiler subreddit, I feel like this did not blow up. Did you see this?
The article? No, I didn't. I only made it through about 3 of yours today. So.
Did you see did you see the story though today?
No, I didn't even look at it. No.
So
John, there were 27 stories in my browser this morning I could have run with, and I only had time for 16. So it's just no.
So he's looking at Spider-Man here.
Yeah.
He looks at there. Look, Tom Holland, Spider-Man. This is supposed to be a post-credit. I can't believe they haven't deleted this yet. Especially since I know they watch our website, because I've gotten emails from Disney before, like asking us to please take down your Avengers Endgame spoilers.
Yeah, please, because that's bad for us. Okay.
We played ball. We played ball. Because we didn't it was okay. I archived it and everything though, but
that's
I did
fine.
play ball.
Yeah, no, and again, they maintain the integrity, but at the same time, live within the DMCA, or the legal.
Well, they didn't even. It wasn't even a DMCA thing. They just sent us a nice email asking me, "Can you please take it down so not to spoil the movie?" And I was like, "Okay."
Did you? Okay, so can I? Did you add an editor's note to say we've taken down the spoiler?
Yeah, this was an Avengers Endgame. It was an Avengers Endgame leak. I literally screenshotted it frame by frame, and I had it all in the I went through it all, so you could see everything, because I knew they were going to take the video down. So I was going to screenshot it all, and we had it up for maybe 12 hours or whatever. Send me an email, and I was like, okay. And this was when we were still really small, we didn't really have, And so I let it run for a little bit, and then because it was going huge. It was a huge story, and so they sent me an email, and then a couple hours later, we edited our story. They had done it to a couple other people too, because you could see what they did. So we kind of looked to see what some of the other people were doing, and we kind of followed suit, and put out I just basically changed the entire article and said Disney asked us to take it down to not spoil it or something. Maybe I don't even know if it was I think I said Disney asked us to take it down to not spoil the thing. So we said we agreed with them, and then did it, but it wasn't a DMCA or anything like that. They just sent us a nice friendly email, and we respected that.
That's nice.
I think if they sent me a DMCA, I think that might have been different. I would have I might have reacted.
You would have been no. You would have been this doesn't fall under DMCA, but okay.
Yeah, I think I probably would have done what we did with Last of Us when we started getting hit with that stuff.
Yeah, and you're here's an attorney to talk to. Yeah, that's the best part. You are in a better position as a journalist than we are here. It's at times. I still feel like they knew they didn't have a leg to stand on with Jeremy and Ryan and everybody else they were tagging for that. And ultimately, if
they got us too. They hit us on the website. Yeah,
but I believe that if we banded together and started suing these people and made them have to climb out of the ooze, it would be very bad for them. I mean, there are a lot of class actions we could be engaged in. Musso International would be not an entity anymore.
I know. As what did he say? He got his solicitor.
Solicitor. Yeah.
And that was a different story. because they're also dealing with the UK law, which is different too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's like, this is like, apparently you got some people here in Reddit claiming that this person says, I saw the movie on Monday. The post-credit scene is Venom getting transported to the MCU, then licking the screen, showing the Daily Bugle, revealing Spider-Man's identity. Let's make it seem like Venom's arrival happened at the same time as Far From Home, especially since there's a breaking news bulletin. And then you have this user here who also posted, basically Eddie is bumming it out in like a foreign island hotel watching a Spanish novella at night. Venom asks Eddie he would like to see a fraction of a second of what his species has done. The second he does, the room lights up yellow, and I guess Eddie is transported to another hotel room in a different tropical area. But during the day, this time, J. Jonah Jameson is on TV talking about how Peter Parker killed Mysterio. Then a still image of Tom Holland's Peter appears, and Venom licks the TV, saying something. That guy. He does say that guy. Then the guy, like in the video, he says that guy. Then the guy who's renting the hotel room asks, "Who are you?" And it's there. You don't see that part, but we do hear him say, like, that guy. I'm not going to show the video because, like, if you go to the Instagram, it's still here. You go to that last slide. There is video. Obviously, they have it kind of like running up and below to try and avoid like the censors or whatever. But then there's also this, which Don found this and shared this with us. So like, I'm just going to skip here. So like, this is from the IMAX trailer. And the idea is that this creature here is Venom.
Looks like him, doesn't it?
You can kind of see him here, outline. So, and that looks like he's in Far From Home. And then Don actually thinks that he sees like the logo, like the actual like white Venom logo. Right. But Spencer and I think it might just be the lighting, and he's just like black. But it definitely, like, people. I remember people originally thought this was Lizard, but now I don't know. That looks like Venom than Lizard, and I don't see a tail. Like, you can kind of pretty much see the back here.
But you guys are okay. So here's the problem. Well, no, actually, there isn't one. I was going to start talking about the way they put the characters together based on contract. I'm not going to get started on it.
No, what were you going to say? Based on what?
No. I need to look up some stuff. I'm not going to mistake. Yeah. But it's like hey, this may or may not be possible. I'm going to just put it in those terms for the Spider-Man film. For
Venom, is that what you're talking about? Venom in Spider-Man No Way Home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm actually surprised the story didn't go bigger, because I mean, it looks.
Nobody knows.
Evidence is pretty convincing, unless this is totally
no, it
big.
is. It is. Yeah. Would it surprise me? Absolutely not. Sony is trying to work very close with Disney right now because they really want Sinister Six. Yeah.
Well, that's what people think that No Way Home is. They think it's a Sinister Six setup.
It is supposed to be. Yeah. The question is, will that happen?
Right.
Disney side of Marvel has to play ball with what has to happen for that movie to be what it's supposed to be. So we'll see. I think it all goes back to that deal.
2019 deal that was like highly publicized, and whether or not it was actually made then or if it was made before. They seemingly said that it seemingly sounded like the way it was reported is it happened like literally leading up to San Diego Comic-Con in like 2019 or whatever. And it looked like Sony won out to me. That's what it sounded like to me.
Well,
Sony also has Spider-Man, so they have I think they do have the leverage.
They have the higher ground, and it's a split deal. That's the other thing. It's 50-50 now and not what it used to be. And there was some negotiating done between the Disney Expo event and the Comic-Con event. There was lots of ground forward and backward. So.
Well, we also saw Michael Keaton in the Morbius trailer as well. If anyone even remembers that, that movie is supposed to coming out. I don't even know when. I haven't heard anything about it.
Weird? Morbius kind of vanished off the radar, right? And I haven't seen a release date in a while, so I'm not even sure. So many films moved. I had a calendar set up, right? And then I stopped. I just gave up because everything just kept getting pushed. I'm like, I don't care anymore.
Right.
It's like nobody cares.
I stopped covering those stories after like the second time. I was like,
yeah,
all right,
it's like, okay, it's moved the third time. I don't care. It's like Ghostbusters moved again. I still don't care. Just let me know when I get to go see it. That's all I want to know about.
When they actually like have a hard date, I'll like maybe go.
Yeah, I'll go and check it out. Yeah, so it is what it is.
But yeah, so Keaton was in the Morbius trailer. Then we also had the Spider-Man poster that was Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, but it was Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man from like the PlayStation game, like this Marvel Spider-Man game. Remember, he's in a poster in the Morbius trailer.
Okay.
Let me see. I'll pull it up here. I'll find it for you.
No. That's fine. Dude, what's his name said, if you're looking to see me in No Way Home, you're going to be disappointed. It was Garfield. Andrew Garfield came forward and said, I was like, is that a misdirect or is that real? And is that more because you're going to be in the Doctor Strange film? Is the next question. So, because I've gotten all kinds of weird tales told to me by people about what's going on with, or what went on with the Doctor Strange thing. So
here it is. It's on Twitter.
Murderer.
So there it is, Spider-Man from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man
from
the game. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a game poster.
But it's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man suit from the game. And that's Leto's Morbius. So this is in the trailer. It's in the trailer too. So
how do you think this theme is gonna? It doesn't matter. How do you think that's gonna work out?
How do I think what's gonna work out?
Morbius.
I actually was kind of interested in that film. I'm not gonna lie. I thought as a standalone, it looked interesting. Like kind of something we hadn't really seen before, maybe, or hadn't like seen a lot of. Plus, I kind of like I dig like the supernatural stuff, and I'm really disappointed that we don't get to see a lot of it.
You can say thank you to whoever got James Gunn kicked out of Marvel. We can talk about those things. I don't even want to go there. We'd have had a completely different universe right now when it comes to the MCU, and I know a lot of people don't get it, but I think that's why it was really easy for what was happening at Marvel to get pivoted to this all new, all bologna sausage crap version of Marvel.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, Gunn's Suicide Squad didn't really do. I mean, I don't know. It bombed at the box office clearly, but I don't know how good.
And it didn't show appreciable gains for HBO Max either.
It looks like Mortal Kombat still is better.
Yeah, and Kalar actually, this is a funny thing. Kalar during his interview at the Code thing the other day, specifically said, if we were going to do this differently, if I had to do it again about the day and date stuff that we did, I'd have 170 different conversations with the different films and people behind this 170 theatrical releases that were affected by this. That's what he said. I mean, they all knew it was coming and why.
Makes sense given the fact that he had problems with Legendary, and then obviously Patty Jenkins has been very outspoken about it.
If you're Wanda Group right now, right, which owns Legendary outright at this point, aren't you like a little bit turbed? I think you are. I think you're mad because GVK. Anything that had Legendary on it this year went through Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I definitely sounds like they got something done with Dune though, because isn't Legendary involved in Dune?
Yeah, they wrote a check.
Yeah, I think they wrote a big
60 some percent of the expenditure I think was on Legendary's side of the ledger. So yeah, it might be more than that. That's just a number that fell in my head just now, but I know it was substantial. It was 60 or more percent of the deal.
That's actually like the only film I think I'm really looking forward to.
Me too.
This year is Dune.
I
don't.
Ghostbusters, but yeah.
Is Ghostbusters coming out this year?
Barely, yeah.
So at the end, so it's like a Christmas movie.
It's coming. No, well, yeah. Well, no.
Early December.
Got moved again.
Okay.
Well, frick. You know what's coming out that I don't care about now is the freaking Matrix movie. I don't even care.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I don't really. No.
They're remaking the first one.
That's what it looks like to me. That's what I like. That's what when that first came out, it looked like a complete remake. And then I I was, because I remember I was on your stream. I wasn't on the stream, but I was in your chat, and Tom was on the stream with you.
Yeah.
And I actually thought the teaser trailers for the real trailer actually had some kind of actually looked really interesting. It was like they were going to question whether or not the Matrix actually existed, or whether whatever he was experienced was actually real. And I thought that was kind of that actually was a cool twist. That's actually are you actually living in a simulation or whatever, or something like that?
Because if you remember, we're going to moonwalk in time. One of the first parts of that thing was he wakes up, right? From a waking dream by a knock at the door. And they're talking about mescaline, the only way to fly. And I'm thinking, was that all a mescaline induced thing that just happened? Because in my mind, that's how it worked. I'm like, all right, well, there you are. That would explain some of it. Yeah. Maybe.
If only they had done that for Star Wars. Luke just wakes up from a dream.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, they can fix it. It's a Newhart moment. All you need is the end of the Newhart show, right? Not Bob Newhart show, but Newhart, right? Where he wakes up in bed with his first wife from the first show and says, "Honey, I just had an amazing dream." And she rolls over and says, "What was it, Bob?" And you're like, "Oh my gosh," because they got the original actress. Did you ever see that?
No, I haven't. But I like that idea because I think it works because it's like an Anakin nightmare.
That's how you fix Doctor Who. It's how you fix everything. With Drinker, I was hanging out with. I got the opportunity to hang out with Drinker over on Midnight's Edge today, right? Because he was on with Midnight's Edge for a little while. And we were talking about Doctor Who, and I suggested that. I said, but not exactly that. I said, you know what? You have Tenet come through a portal, like a dimensional rift, and say, "Wow, that dimension's really screwed up." Or something like that, and it fixes all of the baloney sauces that just happened, elsewhere, right? So I'm just tired of it,
No, dude.
Intentionally.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier, I don't really. I mean, I watched My Hero Academia. I haven't watched the season finale because it's still behind the paywall. But I've watched everything else up to it.
I've had this out now for a couple of weeks because I've been showing people The Last Exile.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, I'm gonna watch this week because I need something really good, and that's one of the things that's really good, right? And then I was we were talking about James Bond with Drinker, and I didn't get a chance to show him this, but I have all of them, right?
Oh,
the
nice.
whole collection, right? Spectre, Skyfall, all of them, all 50.
What's your favorite Craig film?
I don't know that a favorite is a good word. The only decent Craig film probably was Casino Royale, although Skyfall was probably a close second, right? Because Dame Judi Dench saves the film.
Yeah, so I don't know. I like Casino Royale. Clearly, I think that's
Casino Royale is probably
one. Obviously, you have Ava Green as probably one of the great Bond girls of all time, just because Ava Green. And then I don't know. I actually enjoyed Spectre. I get people didn't like it, but
not great.
I don't know. I didn't think it was. What do you not like about it?
I don't know. It just wasn't good. I didn't the way it was set up, everything about it. I didn't like the return of the villain. I was really unhappy with a lot of stuff.
I mean, I know Blofeld is huge Bond villain, so
yeah. I don't know. They keep retelling the same stories badly, and again, that film leaned even harder into the "I'm not Bond" thing, even though it tried to include more spy gadgetry. It leaned. I'm tired. Bond with Craig turned into Jason Bourne, and I've said that 1,000 times. So people have already heard my takes, but. I mean, Quantum of Solace was one of the weakest Bond films I've ever seen, and that was Craig's second film.
Terrible.
Yeah,
I do not like that film.
Yeah, and then I go, you know what? You know who did this better? The author that wrote the story Sahara, and then the film Sahara. The film Sahara is better than Quantum of Solace.
I enjoy Sahara. With Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, that film got such a bad rap, and you know why people didn't go see it? They thought it was a remake of the freaking Knights of Arabia version of the.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, it was poor.
I like that he was like a treasure hunter, and he was looking for.
I know. I'm like, this this is a really great version of the freaking National Treasure. I mean, I'm like,
Yeah.
those are the films I like. Give me more of that. What the hell?
Yeah.
And then of course they didn't make any more of his books, right? They sued him. They sued the author of
Why?
the book for that film. Yeah, I'm not kidding you.
Why?
Because the film didn't make money, and they said that he overinflated his popularity and all this other stuff. And I'm like, that is not why that movie failed, man. It was poorly marketed. Yeah, dude. Oh,
they can sue the author of the book.
Dude, I tell you what, I
hope a judge saw it and tossed it out.
I'm gonna get all the data I can for that. But that's the Wayback Machine, though. I'm gonna have to go way back in time for that data. But yeah, the boss, by the way, who's in bed at the moment. That's one of her favorite films, and one of her favorite books, one of her favorite authors. And like, dude, I have bookshelves full of freaking stories up here, and that's up there. But it's just like, oh man, you got yeah.
Look at that.
I know.
They're driving in like I forget is that Hitler's car? I can't remember. They're driving in some like dictator's car.
Yeah, no, they stole it from the warlord in the area.
Oh yeah,
right?
the African warlord.
Yeah, I mean I literally watched this film going to sleep last night. That's how good Sahara is, right?
It is.
And
there's the boat scene where they're getting chased by the guys on the boat and everything.
Dude, at the end of the film is amazing. They get into the old ironclad, right?
They're literally firing the
cannons. I know. Yeah. They're looking for the primer. They're like looking for the primer and the fuse. I was like, oh, that is so good. Oh my gosh.
And then they obviously pulled a Quigley Down Under where the locals show up and
it was so good, man. Oh my gosh, at the end.
That's another good movie too, Quigley Down Under.
Quigley Down Under, yeah. And underrated. Tom Selleck is a television star and a movie star. Yeah. Quality movie star, right? Not only that, then he went back into TV.
Yeah, the Blue Bloods. It's like one of the biggest shows on cable.
Yeah. Dude is a beast, man. And
the women love him. He's literally a sex icon.
Dude, yeah, he is. Still, he's like 117 years old, and chicks are like, still, oh yeah, I would do that guy. Magnum PI, are you high? Of course. Dude, 3 men and a baby.
Yes,
sealed that dude's life.
Yeah, I like that movie too.
I know.
That's a great comedy.
It's the only time. It's the only time outside of Cocoon and Police Academy that I enjoyed Gutenberg. Right? It's the only time because I'm like, you're a hack. But anyway,
I enjoy 3 Men and a Baby.
I actually take it back. He was really good in Short Circuit. There was like an 8-year period where Gutenberg was not, detestable. But yeah. Wow. Dan, we can talk about this. This is fun stuff. It's like, did you see Johnny Legs shoot himself in the face?
Wait, what?
Johnny Leguizamo, Legs.
Oh, the Mario thing?
Yeah, the Mario thing.
Yeah, we covered that. Yeah, I covered that.
Man, we were talking about that today.
I did a video on that.
on Midnight's Edge, right? And I've been looking at it for a couple days, and I'm like, dude, you used the slur that the Latino community hates. I mean, come on, dude.
He has it in his bio.
He's a dummy, man. I'm like, dude, you realize, he's for the community. I'm like, that argument goes out the window when he starts using that slur, right? I mean,
they're remaking 3 Men and a Baby. Disney with Zac Efron.
You know why?
Oh, gosh.
No new ideas. Disney is creatively bankrupt. Disney loses value by the day because they can't do new things. They can only make crappier versions of things that already exist. Yeah. And you know what? For as attractive as Zac Efron is to ladies, replacing that original cast, Ted Danson was in that film.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I got the cast up now.
Oh my God! Wow, Gutenberg did not age well.
Ted Danson plays like the straight man, right? He's like or is he the I can't remember. Is he the one who has the kid?
Gosh, I don't even remember whose it was.
I think Danson. I think it's Danson. Yeah. I don't think it.
But Selleck was so good. How come Selleck still looks like he's like 40 years old? He's like permanently 40 years old.
He just got. I don't know.
He freaking hate that guy.
It doesn't look like he's done anything.
No,
he doesn't like. he doesn't look like he's had any work done either.
He doesn't have any work done, and he still looks like he's 40. I hate this man.
This is the one who has the kid.
Yeah.
That's Danson, right? Or is it this? I can't remember.
That's Ted Danson. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one who has the kid because this is Gutenberg, right?
Yeah, Gutenberg. Yeah. Yep.
And he had to help sell it because he goes out of town.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There was this was a film done well, right? You know, Gutenberg, like I said, he was good in Cocoon. Ali Sheedy. He was good in not Cocoon. He was good in Cocoon. Better actors than him. He was good in Short Circuit, Ali Sheedy. He was good in this film, two great actors. And he was good in Police Academy, a bunch of great, funny people, right? And then I don't know what happened. But
I don't know.
Yeah.
We got a $5 Australian super chat from Ravul Arvita says Disney ripped off Osamu. I'm going to totally butcher this guy's name. Osamu Tezuka's the White Lion. From Lion, I'm assuming that's Lion King. I've been seeing that going around.
It wouldn't even surprise me.
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me. Everybody rips off from everybody, though. I mean, you have elements of the Fortress and a whole lot of other stuff in Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean, I think you just watch the Toys That Made Me and watch the Mattel thing with Barbie, and they're like talk about how like they were literally just trying to figure out what their rivals were doing and do it before them. Like that's literally what they were doing. So.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, man, I don't even know, but I do know this. This is a great stream, man. I'm so happy you invited me on. I'm like, I feel good.
You said that you wanted on the next Black Pill stream. So
and here I am. I'm sorry it was late, but I was hanging out with my buddy Ors for a couple minutes. So.
Oh yeah, no problem. I mean, I thought Spencer was gonna be able to get in here, but
he doesn't. Spencer doesn't like me anymore. I don't know what it is.
Revoler Vita saying Games Workshop ripped off Dune.
Yes.
I think I don't know. It's like it's inspired by, I guess. Like, I don't know. I think there's a difference between like being inspired by something and completely like ripping it off. I think all the Warhammer stuff is I see that they're like very differently from Dune. Like, yeah, you can see elements within it, but like Space Marines are not the same as Sardaukar.
Look, I mean, that's like because you have a lot of different mech stuff, right? So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't want to get into all that. What I do believe, I can be inspired by a lot of things. Like some of the horror that I'm going to create, has been inspired by others, right? So
yeah,
I can't.
That's normal.
I can't say that doesn't exist, right? And all of the ideas for me assembling like a physical space for like a haunt or something horror based, I'm inspired by people who did it before me. I mean, Pepper's Ghost is one of the oldest effects there is, and it's used everywhere, and it's been used everywhere forever. I mean, even on stages in modern magic. So, in fact, that's how new holographic performances are being done on a regular basis on stages, right? Where you get to see Whitney Houston or Michael Jackson or whatever. So, inspired by, maybe.
Yeah, there's a difference between being inspired by and like literally just doing a remake of the same film, which is what they do now. And then they just change the actors and change what the actors look like. I think what was there? There was a movie that they were doing. I don't know. What did we see if we reported on it this past week? That they're basically going to just do it was Bond they were talking about. They were like, we're not going to change Bond. We're not going to change Bond. We're just going to change the environment that he's around, so he has to make different decisions. And it's like, well, then
you've
changing Bond.
Yeah,
like,
well, and that, but
about?
It wasn't. Yeah, but based on some statements from people who've seen the film, it's not as bad as I was thinking it would be.
I saw Christian Toto's review, and he's pretty legit because he is a right conservative. Runs his Hollywood and Toto. He said it wasn't woke. So, but I mean, I also see that there's also that photo of like Bond riding in the backseat on the moped.
Oh, riding bitch. Right. I just said the word. You didn't have to. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I wasn't going to say it.
I did, and there
Spencer.
you are. That is very soy. That's like a double soy latte right there.
Yeah,
It's not okay.
let me pull it up because
This is rough. As compared, this was so great because this is what I love about Twitter, right? Somebody immediately posts all the other amazing motorcycle scenes with Bond in it, where the chicks are like not,
look at
driving
this.
the bike. Yeah.
There's a Pierce Brosnan one. Let me see.
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah, the
let me
Pierce
see if I
Brosnan
can
one's
find it.
incredible.
I saw the Pierce Brosnan with
McGloin. Yeah, after McGloin posted it, it was like, oh no, it just they came flowing in, right? There it is. There's one of them. The one of them.
there he is there.
Yeah, but there's one where they're on the BMW motorcycle.
Yeah, it's with Michelle, and they're on the motorcycle. Let me see if I can find that.
Yeah, man.
I saw it earlier too, and it's like a side by side of the two.
Yeah, it was
photos.
like, oh, so soy. Oh, dude, that's like I would like a side of soy with my soy. Oh man,
I'm not seeing it right now. Maybe it's under the. Maybe it's under.
It's in replies to that one, but I'm like,
oh, it is.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. I mean, that was
Here it is. Here it is.
Soy.
Yeah. Yeah, so there you got Michelle Yeoh and
they're handcuffed together, right?
Yeah.
But look, here's the thing. I mean, so during my review of Shang-Chi, where I try to be very middle of the road, because I thought Shang-Chi in the 10 Rings of whatever.
Legend of the 10 Rings.
I don't even care. I was going to say something foul, but I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah. Was essentially a mashup of a whole lot of better movies. And I wanted to go through each scene by scene through the film and just show the movie that it took from. Like from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, like the valet scene, right? Where they take
I haven't seen the film. I have not, so I don't. Just let you know.
All right, well, sorry. Did I spoil it for you?
I don't care.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So the Shang-Chi and Awkwafina, right? Marvel's Katie. They put it that way. They're valets, and so they essentially are the same characters that are in Matthew Broderick's Ferris Bueller's Day Off, that are the valets. So they take the hot car from somebody else, and then they go for a joyride, and it's like it's like okay. The bus scene is straight out of the Cloverleaf turn from Speed, where they wipe out all the cars as they go down around the hill. Instead of going down the hill, they're going around the embankment. And it's like this shot for shot thing, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. The first scene where mom meets dad is from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like, where they run on leaves and posts and stuff like that. It's like the same kind of scene. In fact, some of the elements from it are, if you visually identical. There's like a whole lot of that stuff throughout that entire film. I literally could piece together stuff that would have been like, wow, that's a better film. Wow, that's a better film. Wow, that's a better film. And it's just constant.
What was that? What was that Steven Spielberg film that he just did that's based off the book? Ready Player One. So it's basically Ready Player One without the actual references being in the film.
Yeah, it's insane, man. And it's just like, I'm like, okay. I mean, there were elements from some of my favorite films, and I'm like going, why does that from? Oh shoot, And then the problem is I came straight home and did my review, and I was going to be fair, and I was fair, but it's not a great movie. It's not a bad movie. It's a movie. And the minute you walk out of the theater, the emotion that they ginned up between the soundtrack and the emotional, heartstrings that they pull at the end is gone. And you never have to see the film again. It's not like going back and watching Iron Man again. Right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so to me, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, so I was just going to point out, you were talking about Critical Drinker before, and he did that that video. We covered that in one of our articles where he was talking about why modern movies suck, and he was saying like half the time you don't need to watch it again, and you don't remember it as soon as you get out of the theater. And I think there's also something to it, and I point to what Jeremy said about his initial reaction. I think it's The Last Jedi. And he talks about he thought it was actually a decent film when he first got out, and then he gets in the car, and you think about it and you talk to your buddy about it or whatever, and you're like, what did I just watch? This was absolute garbage. When you actually get to think about it, because they do try and and I feel like that's what Marvel just does now. They try and give you these like huge ending. Yeah, Disney, these huge third acts or whatever at the end of the third act, these like big crescendos to like try and like boost up your like whatever the chemicals in your mind.
They're kicking your endorphins. Yeah, they're kicking at your endorphins, trying to ramp you up to your runner's high. And the problem is, John, and I agree with that 1,000%. The Force Awakens, it took me 2 weeks to figure out what was wrong with it. Right,
it was a remake of the first movie.
Yeah, it that and amongst other things, but it took me 2 weeks to isolate what all the issues were, because it wasn't just it was a remake of the first movie. It was like there's a lot of missing stuff here.
Yeah, right? Why is Luke? Why is Luke just completely cut himself off?
Where's Luke? And what's going on with R2? And what's the deal here? The droids have been central in this story forever for a reason. Right. George told you they were the audience. They were the ones that were leading you through the story on purpose. Right?
Sidelined them.
Yeah, so much so that the creation of the droid started with Vader when he was a little boy. That's how important these were to the story. And you sideline one of them, you sideline both of them essentially.
Right.
And then it's like, is this really, but anyway, I don't want to go back and I can do the Star Wars thing forever, but
no, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the most important thing about a film to me is rewatchability. Do I want to see it again? 100%. Right. And you, as the Star Wars films versions of the Disney trilogy went on, fewer and fewer people bought secondary tickets.
Right. Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah, ticket prices increased and fewer people went. And look, you can pay for golden opens, you can buy out empty theaters, but it doesn't change the fact that the number of eyeballs that are on your film has been going down, right? And this has happened across the board. You are not inspired by the things that you see. Do you know how you know that? Because 2 hours after you walk out of the film, it doesn't have an impact on you. You're not thinking about it anymore. There is nothing in Shang-Chi that sticks with you. There's no soundtrack that sticks with you. There's not a song that sticks with you. It's not like Top Gun, right? You walked out of Top Gun or, and you were like, holy freaking cow, and then
there's so much from Top Gun. There's the bar scene where he's like trying to
never close your eyes. Yeah.
Like to me, like one of my favorite scenes is just him going to Top Gun and the plane's coming down and he's on the motorcycle, like just racing it. And like, that's like one of my favorite scenes from that. Because that's the freedom. It's like freedom right there, like the plane flying in, and it just captures like why he likes to fly.
Yep. Yeah. And look, I mean, we went from being like the IDAGF people in this country to what we are now, where we're going to take a particular flag off of the jacket in the new Top Gun film because it might upset somebody.
Dude, that so pisses me off too, because it's not just. It's his dad's jacket.
Yep.
It's his dad's bomber jacket. Mm-hmm. And they're going to like change the flag. Like, no, he would not do that because he respects his dad. His dad is the reason why he became a fighter pilot in the first place.
So now I'm going to turn this back around to Bond, this dumb shit over here. And I just said bad words again. I don't curse a lot, John. So I'm upset, as you can tell.
No.
Yeah. It's you have now made Bond less relevant because you tried to make him relevant to the modern age. Yes. Bond has never been exactly about the age that he's ever been in. Right? He didn't have a lot of decorum going back into the 60s when he first appeared on screen. And he maintained that arrogant, not quite within the years that he was in, attitude about what happened in his life. That he depicted what was cool. I wanted to be James Bond. I don't want to be Daniel Craig's Bond, right? That and while I'm not.
The only time I would ever want to be it was in Casino Royale.
Maybe
after that,
maybe, but even then, there were some elements of his personality that I thought were quite lacking.
Yeah,
and that's okay. But I grew up with James Bond. My grandfather is the one that introduced me to it when I was a very young boy, probably younger than I should have been, to watch these films. He revered the character. There were times we would go over there on the weekends to my grandparents' house, on a Sunday, right after we did our obligations in the morning, right? I'm sure you're familiar with those obligations. Yeah. And then we would go there and we would have dinner, and it was family dinner. And whether we had it there at the house or we went out to my grandfather's favorite restaurant, 9 times out of 10, when you walked in the house, there was a Bond film playing on one of the televisions in the house. Even if there was nobody in there, he loved James Bond. So, and from, again, early adopters of VHS, Laserdisc, DVD, Blu-ray. My grandpa lived that. Yeah, look at that, man. Look at that.
Yeah, this is from Never Say Never Again. This was I think this was my first Bond film that
never
I saw. I really like this. They play the video game with the missiles and stuff. I thought that was so cool.
Missile Command. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Kim Basinger, obviously.
Yeah. Now, mind you, the film that you're referencing here under the MGM label, right? This particular film wasn't an Eon production, was not officially a Bond film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, even though it was Sean Connery returning to the role, this did not operate within their own thing. Did you know that? It's kind of interesting.
I knew there was a couple that didn't.
That is the one in particular, and the Peter Sellers first version of Casino Royale was a spoof on what was being created in the Bond character by Ian Fleming. So
he's on the jetpack.
Yeah,
he shoots out of the submarine, and he's on this thing, man. Talk about cool! Like that's just so cool.
This ended up in a lot of litigious circumstances, by the way. For the guy who claimed he owned the this particular thing
device,
interesting. And by the way, a lot of these are shot. Some of these films are shot for shot reproductions of previous films. It's very interesting.
Trying to find the video if they have a shot of them playing the game. I'm not seeing it.
Oh, the one where they're holding the sticks. The
shock sticks. Yeah. I thought that was I really like that, and the test of wills there with Bond, and he wins obviously. The other guy you
win, Mr. Bond.
Yeah,
it's so good, and I'm thinking that guy looks an awful lot like the Genesis singer, but anyway, so it is.
He was Bill Collins. He was earlier. This guy here.
Yeah. No, I know. No, yeah, but I'm just saying I'm like, that looks like the dude from Genesis. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah. Well, again, this was not legit at the time. I don't think. I think this is the one that wasn't the legit
Kirshner.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know
who are the producers on it. Put the producers on it.
Where do I find that at?
It should be up at the top, but
under all cast and crew. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, here.
Director doesn't say. Okay, keep going. Yeah, it should be on the right hand side. Oh, you don't have the same. It's keep going.
Writers, I can.
Yeah, all cast and crew. Let's take a look at it. Bam.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
No, that's just cast. It's not telling. Oh, here we go. No. All right. Michael Dryhurst, Kevin.
Guess who's missing there?
Jack Schwartzman.
Yeah,
Broccoli.
Nobody from the Wilson family, and no Broccoli. So yeah.
Well, it was my first Bond film, though.
No. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, go back, watch this one, and then watch Thunderball.
Yeah. I do need to. I was watching some clips from Thunderball. That's the one that Cary Fukunaga was having an issue with use the
Oh, dude, there were
Thunderball.
multiple films. He kept confusing him. He's like, "Well, I
Yeah.
don't know which one that was." I'm like, "You're a freak." Do you realize that the names of these people? I mean, I'm like, you're a maroon cartoon. I was like, these people are caricatures of what you know, or a particular archetype, and you're being a dumbass. I was so mad at him. I'm like, you know what? If you're trying to market this film to the woke crowd, they're gonna hate it. They're gonna hate it.
He was literally calling the character that he's trying to sell.
Rapist. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah,
why would you do that? Why
Because
would you? Why?
He's trying to appeal to the whack jobs, and that's not the audience that is going to consume Bond. This is the problem with Hollywood. It's like, okay, you make your highbrow stuff that makes no dollars, but make the stuff that people consume and makes dollars, right? That's the business approach to things, you know.
You want to know why I think they did that though? I think it's because of this Box Office Pro long range prediction. Like like if you look at what they predicted here, let me pull it up.
It's 65.
They said no. The prediction doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, all I know is I saw the international open for Bond, 90 million. I'm like, you're high. You're really high. You're high.
So look here. It says, while male moviegoers have been integral to box office hits this year, Bond's core audience skews notably older than the likes of F9 or Marvel films due to their youth and family appeal. No Time to Die will need some of the most hesitant to return moviegoers, women over 35, to turn up if this film is to have a chance at either the pandemic opening weekend record, Black Widow's 80.4, or the franchise's own 3 highest debuts. So, like, is this who they're trying to get? Even though, like, male moviegoers are the ones who are integral to the box office this year. So I don't know. I don't know if they read this, they saw this, and they were like, these are the Twitter people that we need to appeal to. I don't know.
Because, but it's not. Chicks over 35 are their life experience isn't what the 25-year-olds are, right? The 25-year-olds have been subjected to this woke baloney sausage for most of their lives because people have ignored their kids' education for that long, right? So the 35-year-olds are the ladies that they want to get back in there, even though 60% of Bond's audience is male and older. I mean, it's just dumb. Look, if you're looking at the MPAA theme report from the last few years, you can spot these movies a mile away. And if you looked at like the previous Bond film for the MPAA theme report, for the last time there was a Bond film in theaters, you would be hard pressed to say that there were a lot of females that went to this film, especially if they weren't attached to an older male. It wasn't there. Those demographics aren't there. It is what it is. It doesn't matter. And here's the thing. I mean, it's going to do really well internationally, at least in the UK, because the Bond films always do well in the UK. They there was a review today that says the UK still likes to pretend it's a superpower, and that's quaint or something similar to that. And
I did the Metacritic reviews, like all of the British were giving it 100. Yeah,
and so it's going to do British well, outlets. But it's a tiny little island or set of islands, and Bond, this particular Bond, hasn't been all that endearing to some of them.
No,
you know what I mean. So we'll have to see. But I know that here in the States, where they need this market, nah. And you know what? And 25% of the gross in China isn't going to make this film. I think the folks over at MI6 were right. And I think that it was actually not them that came up with the number, the 928 million. I think it was Common House, Commons House, that came up with that originally. It wasn't MovieWeb. A lot of people attribute it to MovieWeb. That's not where it came from.
I saw that Odin did that, so I didn't really look into that.
No, it's fine. And I know that's where he thought it came from, and and it did appear there, but it was somebody else. And I pulled the article the other day because I was like, that's not where I saw it. There it is. There's the traffic, right?
This is a trend. Yeah, this is the Google trend in the US the past 12 months. You can clearly, blue is Venom. Red is No Time to Die. And Box Office Pro is actually predicting that Venom will have a lower opening weekend and a lower total haul than No Time to Die. So I don't know.
Look at the traffic.
I have no idea where they're getting that from. So even if let's switch it to the UK and see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm sure bond will go up higher. Let's see.
Yeah,
bond's up a little higher. And it's just spiking now, though. So, because it comes out, today, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of audiences that have seen it. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I look, you know me, I look at the facts, the figures, all the stuff behind it, the people that are the players. I like to look at all of the angles. And this is one of those times where I might actually not. First of all, this film's never going to make a profit. Don't even kid yourself.
Oh, yeah. No way.
But I'm looking at it going, this might be not the breakthrough that Hollywood wants it to be. Have you seen every single film for the last 3 months this is going to be the film that's going to rejuvenate Hollywood. This is going to be the film that's going to bring Hollywood back. And I'm like, okay, well, Shang-Chi was a triumph. Did that not bring Hollywood back? No, because Bond's going to do it now. And that's where we're at. They tell themselves these constant lies. This film's not going to do it. Right?
I think the next film that has a chance, like a legit chance. I know we're talking about how like they're constantly lying. Spider-Man. Yeah.
And after that, it's Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
And Dune, I was hoping for, and it might. Dune's international numbers give me hope. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, it's doing well. It released in a slower way in the international markets, right? Still kept building, but they're expecting Bond opens in 50 markets before it gets to the United States. 50.
Here's Dune.
Yeah. Russia.
77.8 million. Russia is the number one at 15.
Yep.
France is 14. Yep. Germany.
Now, you will use this as a comparison.
No, it did open in Hong Kong.
Yeah, use this as a comparison chart, right? For the opening of Bond. Those are the top 10 territories. So look at what happens. That will give you a picture of what's going to happen with Bond as we look at it in the next week. Because when we look at it in the next week.
Is Dune not in the UK? I would assume it doesn't look like it's been open in the UK.
No, it opens the same day as it does in the States and in China. All 3 dates are the same.
Okay, for Dune.
Yeah, at least from what
Dune did get a China release. Obviously, it's legendary, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Dune got a China release. Bond got a China release. They released assignments on the same day, actually, by the official board. Man, guess what doesn't have a China release? The Eternals.
Oh, we know that. We kind of that was
no. That's my zinger because I'm gonna keep saying it every time. It's like, hey, you know what doesn't have a China release? Eternals. You know what didn't also get? Yeah, Shang-Chi. No, thank you.
Black Widow was actually approved, but didn't get in the box. Didn't get in the box office because of the blackout.
Yep, and I told everybody that from the very beginning because of Centenary. Yeah, because of Centenary. Yeah,
because only the certain types of films were allowed in. And
the yay rah communism stuff, which we're going to start seeing in this country, just in a different way.
Yeah, it's already happening. It's get your jab. Mark or Seth is saying Dune was boring. You saw it already?
Mark, did you actually see it already, dude? Or the 94 one, or the series? I need help. Please refine.
Eric J.R. Maldonado Herrera says,
"Oh God, don't do this to me. He's doing this every stream now." The AMC numbskulls, right? The AMC networks guys, they did this video thing. He's trying to kill me with this. They're like giving us all the reasons it's problematic. They're showing us like, well, the cops were always bad, kind of thing. Gosh, dude!
It's like cops are a bad thing.
Yeah. So it's right before they're going to show the film, and then at the end of this little diatribe that they go on for AMC, right before they show the film on the freaking channels, like, yeah, but Lethal Weapon's awesome, so let's watch it. I'm like going, you freaking tool bags! I was so mad.
AMC does a promo for the Lethal Weapon, and they're saying that it's bad, like the television.
Oh, dude, yeah, dude. Oh gosh, you know what? I don't have the link. I would send it to you. It's under AMC, the channel, and then Lethal Weapon. Give me like 45 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to look for that because that's absolutely absurd. Yeah, no, that was expected. Like, remember, it's only supposed to be the first half of the book. And all of the action pretty much takes place in the second half of the book. of the first book. Like literally most of it takes at the end. It's I mean, if you've read the book, if you know anything about the book, it's more of it's cerebral philosophical stuff, for the most part, even spiritual, leading up to the big action scene at the end. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I kind of knew that. I had access to the script too, so kind of knew that she wasn't really in it that much. I do know it ends in the it ends in the I don't even how the rave scene, I guess is how I'll use it to get around that. Henry Rowan says Bond might do very well because it's a departure from the superhero genre. I think that's probably why it won't do as well. Superhero genre is still king at the box office. I think Black Widow and Shang-Chi proved that, even though like Suicide Squad sucked, but like at least Marvel superheroes are still king. We haven't really seen anything else kind of get up there. I guess A Quiet Place Part 2 did pretty well for itself. And then Godzilla versus Kong, I guess, as well, did pretty decent, but haven't really seen anything else. I mean, Demon Slayer is up there for international with Japan, really carrying the weight there. Mark says he's a pirate.
So okay.
That's what we saw Dune.
Very good. All right. Yeah, that's very Jimmy Buffett of you. Very good.
But I mean, like I was just saying earlier that not earlier, just while you were stepped away, that that's expected though, because like most of the action in Dune doesn't happen till the end of the first book, and the first movie doesn't even finish the first book.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's the way they've laid it out. It's at a natural break point. They really have to make the second film. Yeah,
they do. When Denny said they didn't, we'll see. It has to do well. He said that.
Well,
so.
He did say that, but I think
there's like contractual arrangements.
I think it's already ready to go.
Okay, good. We'll see. I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna watch it on IMAX. I'm gonna watch it on a big screen. I don't know if it'll be IMAX, but I'm just.
I have HBO Max. It's one of the few services I still have, and so I will watch it on IMAX first, and then I will probably watch it multiple times at home. So
yeah,
I love that property is amazing. I mean, if you want pure love of that, go talk to Nerd Cookies, right? I mean,
we've been following her.
Yeah, she's incredible. Yeah.
Mark Loseth is saying he's specifically talking about the Villeneuve. I don't know how to say the guy's name. I butcher it all the time.
Villeneuve.
It's boring, but he likes the Dune story. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
you know what? Denis is very impressed with himself. That's one of the things that Andre said in his review.
I kind of got that just by watching his interviews.
He's very impressed with himself. It's Blade Runner 2027 billion or whatever it was, the 2049.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean that should have showed you that he's like gets very caught up in his filmmaking, I should say. He should be more caught up in his editing because dang. But anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're a little 12:15 here on the East Coast, so I think we're gonna wrap it up. Do appreciate you coming on and streaming with me here, Culture Casino. It's always great to have you. I really do appreciate it. Do you want to give the spiel?
Yeah, sure. I'm Culture Casino. Got a YouTube channel, got an Odyssey channel, got a Twitch channel, got a Minds, got a Twitter. Culture Casino is all of it. We can get me anywhere. Culture Casino. I even have I even make my email public to humans on my YouTube channel. If you're want to send me a thing, Roof Korean's already sent me a thing. There's not a good chance I'll see the thing because in my real life I get like 6,000 emails a day. But I'll try.
I have 11,000 unopened emails.
Oh, dude, you and I live in the world, man. It's like, okay, I can't consume all this stuff.
I literally don't have time to look. I mean, I'll look at the headline, and if it's not like something that's just like super grabbing me, I'm like, okay. Like I miss Disney stuff, like big Disney stuff. I'm like, did I not get an email on this? And I'll go back and it's like, oh, I did. I guess I just missed that one. Oh well.
Yeah, I mean, I get, and here's the thing. So, but like the people that I know, like the people that I actually know that do stuff like that are involved in some of these things, like they actually send the email to my personal address, not the business stuff, because they know better. Because I'll never see it. It's like, okay, or they'll call me or shoot me a text. It's like, dude, check your email. Okay,
Right.
you know. And, oh man, I got. Oh shoot, I can't talk about it.
All right.
Cool,
well,
there's some cool horror stuff coming. Just so you know, it's not been announced yet. In the next week. Okay.
Yeah, I got an email here about a scoop too. So we'll see.
Okay. All right. Okay. I can't talk about it.
This one looks like it's more of a video game thing than a movie thing. So
oh no, there's no. I can. It's okay. It's gonna be good. Okay. Wait a minute.
Oh, it's gonna be good. Okay. All right. Well, make sure to check out Culture's Casino so you get the update on the cool horror thing.
I can't talk about it. I'm not allowed to talk about it. I give it to other people because I can't do it.
All right. Well, we'll have to sniff it out. Sniff it out then.
All right.
And yeah. So for me, we'll be back probably tomorrow for either. Depending on whether or not Spencer gets his tech stuff fixed, we'll do a Bounding Babble, or we'll just do an open chat discussion, probably starting around 4. And he's this guy's back to us with the lethal weapon thing again.
I know his
orange icon, his orange avatar, like stands out.
I know, dude. Like, I know. He's torturing me with this. I mean, I've seen it. Everybody's seen it now, and here's the problem: it makes you crazy. It's like this crazy. Don't do that anymore. I've seen it. You've had my reaction. It's not great. The kid thing. The cops are bad. Cops have always been wet. Okay, anyways.
Terrible. But yeah, so either an open discussion or a Bounding Babble tomorrow, and then probably on Friday as well. And usually start around 4 or 5. So look for that. And we usually go between half an hour and an hour. And then this weekend, I will pretty much be out of pocket. So just check the website. We should have some stuff up on Sunday.
Cool.
And then obviously week starts over on Monday. So thank you all. Have a great night. And again, thank you, Culture Casino, for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you on stream with us. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Culture Casino's YouTube channel and give them a follow over there.
Check out
all right.
this guy. Awesome.
Have a good night, guys.